out.
Dude, no, you can keep it. The reason I'm wearing a jacket inside because it feels like when I was outside in Korea, man. My room is so cold.
Tell me about it. It's
My
freezing
room is
here,
so
man.
cold, man. We still haven't heard about central heating in Malta, man.
I spent the last month with this country struggling to go above 4 degrees.
It's true. No, but I think inside you have central heating, no?
Yes, and the houses will be properly insulated and stuff like that, but it's still freezing outside.
Of course, and basically in Korea they have this system where it's called ondok.
Okay.
So the floors are heated basically, especially in their traditional houses, the hanoks. Hillallo, man, when you lay down on the floor in these hanoks, it was heaven. My back was like going, you know. Even I'm not sleeping well. I'm sleeping like this, like an embryo.
Yeah, man, we have to sleep under the quilt. So cold, man. Any part of my body that is outside the quilt, including any parts of my face, they're just frozen. And I'll wake up anytime part of my body comes out of the quilt. I'll just wake up. It's so cold.
Maltese houses like caves, to be fair. So.
And guys, hello. This is the new introduction for the podcast. How cold Malta is.
And I'll have to edit that part out because apparently, according to new YouTube rules, in the first 8 minutes of
you cannot swear.
Of any video, we cannot swear.
Oh, good.
Apparently, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's
Thank
true.
you,
It's
YouTube.
true. It's true. Oh, yeah, but
I'll do my best.
You can put it a blooper. Oh.
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys when you can start swearing.
It'll be good for TikTok.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Welcome back to the Adler Podcast. I hope you like that new interesting intro. All planned and all set up. None of that was authentic. Anyway, so welcome back to the Adler Podcast. Today is episode 8. Can you believe it, guys? It's episode 8.
No guests today. No guests. But we will
guests,
have more guests.
It's just the original trio
episode.
this time.
Just the original trio. But I think that gives us more time to talk about the news that's coming out and review movies. Sometimes when we have guests here, we don't really have that much time to review and so on. So we have some time today to talk about a variety of movies.
The original Holy Trinity.
Indeed. So lots of news to talk about. First of all, Franco, how's it going? I know you're cold.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Finally getting to start re-editing the short movie. I received the ADR. Saw the Last of Us. Oh my god, how good. Saw both episodes of Last of Us. So that was good. So a couple of movies. Yeah, we can discuss them later. And how are you, Joe, our resident MCU hater?
Still hate the MCU, just in case anyone's wondering. No, I'm good. I'm less cold than the two of you, which is strange because I live in a much colder country. But that's a discussion we had off air at the time.
Central heating, man. Central heating.
Yes, central heating. It just costs all of my salary. Well,
True. Rishi,
No,
Rishi, did you hear that, Rishi?
No, I've been good. I've been keeping busy with work. I've been doing some watching. Yeah. How's Andrea? We never ask how Andrea is.
Oh, Andrea's fine.
You never ask why Andrea is. No, I'm freezing as well, like I've made very clear.
Oh, how's your Velma going?
Oh, I stopped that at episode 1. No, I haven't watched anything else.
Yeah.
No, I can't.
Finally, some justice.
No, I can't.
Some sense.
No. As in, I would have watched it if there was some glimmer. Like even Willow had a bit of a glimmer of hope and something to watch. But no, Velma was it. There was nothing. not even the animation was interesting. Nothing about it was interesting.
No redeemable qualities.
Nothing at all. Like I saw it was like 1 point something on IMDb, 1.3, I think.
The lowest rated animated series on IMDb and the lowest rated series on Rotten Tomatoes. The history of IMDb and Rotten Tomatoes.
Terrible.
One for the Razzies.
Yeah, definitely. All right, guys. So what is the Adler Podcast all about? The Adler Podcast is a show all about movies, TV series, video games. The show today is going to be split up into 3 segments. In the first segment, we're going to be talking about stuff we've been watching in the past week. Then we have a lot of news to talk about today, so that'll be the second segment. We also have an interesting segment today in which we'll be talking about video game adaptations. And there is a particular news article we'll be talking about, written by Paul Tassi, whether it's true that the video game curse has been broken, or whether that curse was broken a long time ago, or whether the curse ever existed in the first place. So that's an interesting discussion we'll have later on. And finally, we have some movies to review. We'll be talking about Tar, we've got Babylon, we've got Megan as well to talk about. So a number of movies to discuss and review. So that's our show today. With that done, let's start off with the first segment. Franco, you mentioned you watched a few movies this week. What have you been watching?
Yeah, so I watched Extraction. Not bad. It's, it is a 6 on 10, but I would give it a 5 on 10. It was a possible action movie. There was a great action one-hour sequence. I can give huge recommendations for that sequence alone, especially seeing the behind the scenes and what went through it. And immediately trivia time, apparently one of the stunt persons when they were doing that particular shot, Chris Hemsworth and his Indian counterpart falling off the roof, they did it at least 3 times, and the stunt person at least sprained his ankle or broke his ankle, and he stood up and did it again. And they used the take where if you go frame by frame, they use the take where the stunt person hits the head against the railing of the van. Quite intense one there. But then it's I'm going to give a chance to Extraction 2 because it can only get better. That's for sure. It can only get better. And I saw not that bad, not that good, Soft and Quiet. Not that good because it takes some time to, getting into gear. That's the only qualm I have about it. But then once it starts rolling, it spirals into chaos, basically. Soft and Quiet is a Blumhouse production, by the way, guys. And it's another... Okay. It's, speaking of which, we're going to talk about Megan and Trigan. It's also in the realm of elevated horror as well. That's the one. Man, she's really good looking. The woman is really good looking. They're all... And, no, I'm not going to say because there's a particular... they use a particular technique. And
apparently it plays out in real time.
Yeah. Plays out in real time. Okay. Plays out in real time. And it's... The dread, you can feel the dread underneath. Until it gets into the horror element part of it, it takes some time. Otherwise, okay. I recommend it, especially for you, Joe. If you like the Speak No Evil. Speak No Evil.
I love Speak No Evil.
It's up. It's right up that alley.
Nice. I'll watch that this week.
Franco, with regard to Extraction, I completely agree with you. Interestingly enough, Extraction was the first movie I ever reviewed on my YouTube channel. It was my first actual review.
Andrea,
and I think I gave it a 3 out of 10. Yeah, 3 out of 5, sorry. 3 out of 5. No, not 3 out of 10. No, I agree with you. The action was very good, but obviously all the character work and any kind of emotion is completely lost in this movie. The action scenes were brilliant.
In fact, the kids, I was disappointed by the kid actor here. He was always giving that sort of same expression.
Yeah. But I'm disappointed with most kid actors anyway, so...
Who?
There's that. I'm disappointed with most kid actors anyway, so...
But you're a school teacher.
Well.
You'd expect that.
Yeah, true that. So that's Franco. Joe, what have you been watching this week?
So this week, in terms of films, they are the 2 that we're going to be reviewing later in the show. I did catch Babylon and I did catch Megan, or M3gan, as we like to call it. I'll save my thoughts for the review section of the show for that. In terms of watching, because I did a bit of traveling last week with work. I was just watching some things here and there. I don't know if you guys know Letterkenny. It's a Canadian comedy sitcom. Very, very funny. Highly recommended. Extremely deadpan. It can be quite an acquired taste. in terms of its sense of humor.
What
But
is
very
it? What
funny.
is it?
Letterkenny. It's right there on screen.
Letterkenny. Oh, it's Canadian? No.
Yeah, Canadian.
Okay.
It's
Damn,
for
8.7?
me. Yeah, for me, I love the kind of like very dry comedy that it is, but it's definitely an acquired taste.
Season
say.
12. Jesus.
Yeah, no, there's loads of it, and I'm only on season 1. And I have been watching Hell's Kitchen this week just because I like a bit of that. So it's a good guilty pleasure watch. Because I love cooking, and I like asinine teenage drama being done by adults. So it's perfect. I did try and watch, and it's going to be a nod to Francesca. Salute to you, because everyone at work won't shut up about it as well. I did watch 2 episodes of The Traitors, and that is top tier trash television. I have to tell you, because The Traitors, for those that don't know, it's essentially, if you've played the game before, like I think Werewolf Among Us, or if you've played over here they call it Mafia, or even just Among Us, the computer game. It's essentially that, where you've got 3 people who are traitors and a house of people who are like not the traitors, and you basically do all these challenges, and there's a big prize pool at the end, but then every night someone gets killed, and it's about pitting people against each other when they do these things.
Okay.
So it's amazing how like seemingly regular people can lie and act so well. It's like really scary the way they fix that. But if you like decent trash TV, this is on the higher echelon of that. And lastly, I have of course been watching The Last of Us, which I think we'll get through in our discussion of video game adaptations. I can't actually use the words I want to use because we'll get taken down by YouTube if I use it right now, but we'll get to that, right?
Actually, we're 12 minutes in.
We're 12 minutes in. Okay, guys, The Last of Us absolutely fucks. That's all I can say.
So, in my case, I have also watched The Last of Us, but I only got to watch the first episode. I didn't have time to watch the second episode, unfortunately. I've watched a few movies. This week, I watched Puss in Boots, The Last Wish, which I thought was bloody great. I loved it. I loved absolutely everything about Puss in Boots 2. I actually haven't watched the first Puss in Boots, so that's... But I don't feel like I lost anything in this second movie. And I thought the animation was really well done. Takes a lot of inspiration from Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. So very, very good movie. Highly recommended. One of the best antagonists. I won't spoil who the antagonist is, but if you've seen the trailer, you'll see the antagonist there. Very well designed. Amazing voice acting as well, for the most part. Especially, I love the voice acting of Wagner Moura, who was Escobar in Narcos. He is brilliant. He's brilliant. His voice is incredible.
There's also Our Lady and Savior.
Yes, it's one of the reasons why I'm tempted to watch it.
Okay. I had no idea. I didn't actually pay attention to that. All right.
I really wish this film was on like something like Disney Plus or on some kind of streaming, because I do want to see it, because I actually, like, full confession, I really liked the first Puss in Boots movie. I thought it was a very good, very sweet animated film. And I like Antonio Banderas as Puss in Boots. I think it's hilarious. And I just like cats.
He's very good as well, yeah.
I like cats, and I like when cats do stupid things.
Okay. I thought Cats the movie.
No.
Joe, the first Puss in Boots movie, was it also... This also had this, like, pastel brushstroke effect in the animations?
No, it did not.
Or was it more like the Shrek animation style?
Much more like the Shrek animation style.
All right. Because I loved this animation style.
The first Puss in Boots was using, like Joe said, the Shrek animation.
So yeah, that's Puss in Boots. I also watch Jungi. How do you say it, Franco?
Zhongyi.
It was okay, as in I expected it to be much better. I mean, considering the director and so on. It's an interesting concept. It's definitely a world I would like to be explored more. The focus, surprisingly, was not that much on the action. So there was a lot of action in the movie, but the focus was more on the mother-daughter relationship. That's the main focus on the movie. I love the concept. Everything about it should work, but unfortunately, for a 1 hour, 38-minute movie, it really dragged, and it dragged quite a bit. Which is surprising, because you've got a lot of random action scenes stuffed in here and there. And then you've got this powerful emotional relationship between the mother and the daughter, and you feel like the action is just interrupting this like emotionally driven story. So there's that. But at the same time, the world is fascinating, and especially the backdrop. Obviously it's all CGI. The majority of this movie is CGI, and the backdrop is beautifully done. But then some of the action, the CGI in the action looks really awkward. Looks like bad 2010 video game action. All the action.
So it looks like Marvel movies, is what you're saying?
No, worse than Marvel. No, some of the action looks really bad. Especially there's a particular scene. I can't tell you what happens because obviously I'll ruin the whole concept of the movie. But there's this scene where you have a lot of metal and rocks and so on which fall, and it looks really bad. It looks very, very, very bad. So I watched Jungi. Would I recommend it? Maybe if you really, really love sci-fi, maybe watch it. But unless you have 1 hour 40 minutes to waste, as in I would give it a pass.
You always have time to waste them.
yeah, I try to watch as much as I can.
Can you check Alienoid? It's also a Korean movie, and I think Korea is still slowly building up on their VFX and their I think because this is another one. When I saw the trailer, I thought the VFX looked pretty decent.
Actually, it looked good in the trailer. Let's put it that way.
It has an interesting story, right? Because it also goes back into the Joseon Dynasty. So,
but anyways, so there's that. I also rewatched a few movies. Guys, I had told you I hadn't watched Casablanca. I was mistaken. I actually had watched Casablanca.
Oh, okay.
Because I thought I'd find some time to watch it. And as I started the movie, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I watched this movie. But anyways, I rewatched Casablanca. Brilliant. I loved every second of it. Again, really good movie. I know it was American propaganda back during the war, but it's an amazing performance by Humphrey Bogart. The cinematography is absolutely incredible. The music, soundtrack, everything is amazing about it. I really loved it. Guys, you watched Casablanca or not?
Not yet.
Same.
Yeah, it's highly recommended.
It's one of those where I was shown multiple clips like throughout university, and kind of felt like I've seen so much of this. I know what the story is. I kind of seen it already, which sounds really ignorant to say. I will get around to it because it is such a revered film. But yeah.
And what's that famous quote? Here's to you, kids.
Yeah, here's looking at you, kids.
Here's looking at you, kids.
Now you mentioned that, Joe. I think actually I might not have watched the whole thing, but watched like so many clips from it.
Yeah, I've seen countless clips.
I felt like I've watched 3/4 of the movie already.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why you felt like you've already seen it somewhere because of the clips.
Yeah. No, that's what. No, Joe mentioned it. Actually, I think that's what happened. But anyways, also, guys, have you watched this series called Mo? It's on Netflix.
Mo.
My dad introduced me to it. My dad was like, I started this new series and I spent the whole day watching it. Like I did nothing else but watch this series. And I thought he was exaggerating. I started it and oh my God, it's so good. It's bloody brilliant.
Reading the synopsis, it looks like something I'll enjoy. From A24, huh?
Wait, it's A24.
But that's what it said on the trailer.
Oh, okay.
What? Come again?
Apparently it's produced by A24.
And it's August. No, that's August 24. What are you saying? Not A24.
It's really no. On the trailer it said from A24 in big yellow letters. I'm not going insane.
It's really good. It's hilarious.
Oh wait, it's made by Rami Youssef. I mean, if you've seen Rami, then you have to be in.
It's really good. It's really good. No. It's very, very, very funny. And I was surprised by how emotional it gets at times.
Yeah.
It's very powerful, very powerful. So the humor works and it touches on like lots of social issues in America and issues obviously for refugees and so on. But at the same end, it's funny. But then when it gets serious, the serious emotional moments are really powerful.
It sounds like Rami, which is the last thing that Rami Youssef made, which is written by and starring himself, which was really, really good. I watched the first 2 seasons of that. He's very talented.
Which one? Okay. Which one is it?
In fact, yeah, Rami, he made with A24 for Hulu, so makes sense. It's all connected.
It's all connected. So I highly recommend Mo, guys. It's a very, very. They're short. The episodes are 25 minutes long.
Oh, bomba
per episode. So you know, I'd like to slip in an episode here and there between work and so on, and I'm absolutely loving it. Highly recommended. So that's me.
Cool.
All right, guys.
Cool.
So I think we can now get into the news. So first piece of news we have today is news of what happened at Sundance. So apparently there was a big controversy over captioning malfunction. For those of you who don't know, Marlee Matlin, who starred in Coda, the Best Picture winner from last year's Oscars, she's obviously she's deaf. And what happened was during the Sundance Film Festival premiere of Magazine Dreams on Friday, when captioning was not properly provided for the film, both her, Eliza Hittman, and Jeremy O'Harris left basically the movie, the theater they were watching the movie in. Matlin, who has been deaf since she was 18 months old, was provided with a captioning device that didn't work, according to Variety. They all left, and obviously because Marlee Matlin could not experience the movie. The device was later repaired, and apparently they will get to watch the movie. Franco, this is an issue that I'm sure many deaf people experience, especially when they go to the cinema. Do you have any thoughts on any solutions to this problem?
Subtitles. I mean, because I was thinking when we were discussing this news item, like we're now used to watching movies with subtitles. I think you saw the Korean movie with subtitles, right, Andrea? So
yes, I did. But I know a lot of people find issue with that. I know a lot of people who refuse to watch any kind of foreign movies just because they don't want subtitles on their screen.
But that's on them. I mean,
those people are stupid. This is idiots.
That's one thing. But,
I know it's a big thing in America, apparently. Americans hate subtitles.
But that's Americans.
Lots of Americans.
That's American.
Yeah, that tells me everything I need to know.
Hi, my American friends. Sorry, my American friends. No, but it's really strange that they have to watch with a device. It's cumbersome. So
Indeed.
And there used to be some shows here, right, where they do one show with closed captioning.
Yep.
Well, at least, I mean, why is this a big issue? And I'm on what's her name, the actress side again?
Marlee Matlin.
I'm on Marlee's side, actually. Like they could have done subtitles, but what I saw the article, it was for Magazine Dreams. P.S. Jonathan Majors looks so buff in it. It made me question my sexuality, Ostia. No, he looks really like...
He's huge. No, he's huge.
You could grate cheese on his abs, basically.
Well, it's because he's gonna be in the next Creed movie as well, so he's obviously just like getting ripped and staying ripped. So
directed by Michael B. Jordan, which is interesting.
I've got trivia this time. The first sports movie filmed on IMAX cameras.
Oh, okay.
I know that because before my screening of Avatar, there was like a whole thing, like, you know, for Mission Impossible, they had the whole like going through the stunt thing. They also had Michael B. Jordan telling me that he filmed everything on IMAX for this film.
Oh, okay.
All right. And I know apparently it was an issue during the screening because when they did when they did the tests, everything went smoothly. Then on the screening, it's just
didn't work. Mm-hmm.
Still subtitles. That's it. I mean,
subtitles.
Yeah, easy fix.
As in, I don't mind subtitles. I watch a lot of foreign movies, and I will refuse to watch anything that's dubbed. By the way, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I'm the same. I'm exactly the same.
I cannot stand this.
No, but Netflix. I saw Troll dubbed. It was really making me.
Anything on Netflix that's dubbed, English voices are so robotic and so
watch things in the language that they were made in and just
100%.
have subtitles. Like I know people that watch the entirety of Squid Game dubbed.
Oh my!
Have you guys heard? Just listen to a few minutes of dubbed Squid Game. It's hilarious.
It's terrible.
It's terrible, and the translations don't match.
Yeah. Yeah.
Translations don't match.
Even the subtitles, I think, Franco, right? We miss out on a lot of like
that's what I've heard,
stuff.
especially with Asian films like Japanese, Chinese, and Korean and stuff.
Ooh.
Apparently, you miss out on loads of like what they're actually saying.
No, the nuance, because the thing with the Korean language, the nuance is really important.
Yeah.
It was even when I was comparing English and Korean, nuance is everything. I always though commend the Italian dubbing.
Yes, Italian dubbing is amazing.
Italian dubbing is quite there, especially
yes, I think it's the very best of dubbing.
To be fair,
anywhere.
they have been doing it since like the 60s with all of their spaghetti westerns. To be fair,
yes, Sergio Leone and Clint Eastwood.
I was going to say because actually on Italian dubbing, I only realized like I'd first seen like the films from the Dollars trilogy because my dad loved them when I was really young, but I used to sit there and like not really like watch them properly, but they'd be on the TV and I'd be playing with my toys, so I'd see a lot of them growing up. But it only took me to realize that they were actually dubbed over with like most of the cast apart from like Clint Eastwood when I rewatched them when I was like 22.
I think there's a theme going. Like I watched them when I was young. I think our therapy sessions must be very interesting.
Yeah, they're interesting. There's like my therapist is just like, Joe, why do you want to be a taxi driver and go around the city cleaning up like all the scum and villainy? Like why do you think you're in Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver? When was the last time you slept?
And why do you squint when you're facing off someone?
Yeah. Do you often find yourself having conversations with yourself in the mirror?
Do you often think about holding an axe and swinging it at homeless people?
Oh my God.
Okay, so that is the news on... So we have more news, actually, because I was going to say that was the news from the Sundance Film Festival. We have a lot more to talk about the Sundance Film Festival. First of all, one of the movies I wish I put in my highly anticipated movies, and that is... We're going to be talking now about Infinity Pool. And apparently it premiered a few days ago in the Sundance Film Festival. According to Collider, there are many exciting horror films just around the fright-filled corner in 2023. The next one up for genre fans is Infinity Pool, directed by Brandon Cronenberg. This crazed-looking horror thriller starring Mia Goth and Alexander Skarsgård releases in theaters everywhere this Friday. Definitely not in Malta. Don't know about over there, Joe.
I'm actually looking right now. Because now that I see that it's this Friday, I'm like, please be this Friday. Please don't just be the United States.
It's probably in America.
Andrea, I really liked the dramatic pause after Infinity, and I saw Joe clench his asshole. Like Infinity. It's like Infinity Wars? No, it's like Infinity.
No.
The good one. Okay.
We don't know if it's good or not, actually. We have to see.
There's been some middling reviews. I haven't seen anything by Brandon Cronenberg yet.
Neither have I, Joe.
You guys haven't seen Possessor?
Not yet.
Oh my God, fucking stop the podcast. Go watch that. Jesus Christ, guys.
Okay,
what are you doing?
Bye. I'm going out.
Ciao, that's the answer.
Well, it's one of the cases of like, the apple really has not fallen far from the tree. In fact, the apple is still attached to the tree when you watch David Cronenberg and then you go to Brandon Cronenberg.
Apparently, even his daughter as well. His daughter is on the same
Same wavelength.
As long as they keep doing weird, fucked up shit, I'm all for it. Actually, did I ever tell you guys about the time I nearly killed David Cronenberg?
What? How?
No.
No. This was back when I was at Venice Film Festival in 2018. Basically, the main like hub area to like do work and like where all the journalists would be like.
Wait, just a second, Joe. Yes. Tell us more about this.
The main hub area where like all the journalists were doing their work, there was this big press building in like the middle of like the main festival area. There was the only place which had free Wi-Fi as well. So us as jury members, the group I was a part of, whenever we needed to do work, we'd go there. And anyway, one of my friends from the group was getting some work done, and she's French and her English isn't that great when it comes to writing. She's like, oh, like, can you come and help me with some like translations in English and stuff like that? So I'm like, okay, I'll see you there. But I was late and I was running there. And at the time, Cronenberg happened to be doing a masterclass, and it was in a room inside this building. And anyway, I'm running up the stairs and I'm texting at the same time. And then like on the last step up, I decide to do like one big leap, like I skip a step. And suddenly I bump into someone and they fly flat on their back on the floor. I fall over as well, like I drop my phone. It's like a whole disaster. But like, immediately, like no matter who it was, immediately I'm like, holy shit, I'm so sorry. Like that's totally my fault kind of thing, right? But then I look at this guy and I like go to be like, oh, I'm so sorry. And I go, fuck. That's David Cronenberg. And I'm like, are you okay? He's like, yeah, like, I'm fine. He's like, watch where you're going. I'm like, yes. Yes, I will watch where I'm going. Please don't turn me into a disgusting monster, Mr. David Cronenberg.
So Mr. Cronenberg, if you're watching this podcast, you're welcome to be a guest.
if you're watching this, I really hope Crimes of the Future wasn't about me. I'll say that.
Did you like Crimes of the Future, by the way, guys?
I haven't seen it yet.
That's okay. Yeah, I remember as I saw them, though, that terrifying face looking up at me as I helped them up off the ground.
Terrifying or terrified?
No, terrifying. He looks scarier when he's angry.
Oh shit, man.
To be fair, he was very cool about it. He was like, he kind of laughed it off. He's just like, yeah, like, watch where you're going. I'm like, yeah, I know. I'm an idiot, obviously. You're David Cronenberg. Yeah, that's probably my biggest claim to fame.
Have you watched Videodrome? Any one of you Videodrome I've watched?
Of course.
No, I heard it's very good, but
it's very good. Andrea. Naked Lunch, but Naked Lunch is totally different from the book, but it's faithful in spirit. Existence, I liked.
The Fly is one of my favorite films ever made. I remember I wrote
The Fly, yes. The Fly is so good.
A 3,000 word essay on The Fly for uni.
The Fly was very good, and what...
I like The Brood as well. Very, very good Cronenberg. Then as well, like the later Cronenberg where he goes more into crime, like Eastern Promises, History of Violence is very good as well.
They're both good. I like them.
Can I tell you guys, body horror just freaks me out too much. It's too much. Like, Crimes of the Future was okay. There was nothing too horrific about it, so I watched that. But
then...
that was like...
Junji Ito is not for you, man. Especially
All right, so that's our discussion on Brandon Cronenberg's upcoming movie. I'm looking forward to seeing it. Hope it will be out in cinemas.
You guys should watch Possessor first, though, before you go watch Infinity Pool.
We'll do.
We'll
get on it this week. Next piece of news we have is news on another Sundance Film Festival movie, as we got news on the upcoming movie named Eileen. Come on, Eileen. So, we got a few images which somewhat reveal the world of director William Oldroyd's project, based on the 2015 novel of the same name by Otessa. Oh, I'm not going to say that surname because I'm going to completely butcher it. Yeah, I'm not giving up. Eileen follows the titular Eileen as she works as a secretary at a prison in 1960s New England. However, according to the film's logline, Eileen becomes enchanted by the glamorous new counselor Rebecca Anne Hathaway. Their budding friendship takes a twisted turn when Rebecca reveals a dark secret, throwing Eileen onto a sinister path. Beyond top-liners Mackenzie and Hathaway, Eileen also stars Shea Wiggum, Owen Teague, Jefferson White, and Maren Ireland. No details about any of their characters have been revealed. Joe, I know you watched Lady Macbeth, William Oldroyd's Lady Macbeth with Florence Pugh. Your thoughts?
Did, and I fucking love Lady Macbeth. That was probably... I think the first time I fully saw like Florence Pugh in a movie, and I'm like, I love you. I would crawl a mile through broken glass just to smell your hair. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Lady Macbeth is really, really, really good. In fact, I watched it again less than a year ago, it's like with a friend of mine, like, because we'd both seen it, we're like, oh, let's just fucking watch Lady Macbeth again. That movie rules, kind of thing. And we did. It's great. And I'm very curious to see what William Oldroyd is going to do next. I think 6.8 is criminally low. But then again, it is the plebs of IMDb rating this. They don't really know anything. People who use that website.
Cut that bit about the hair, man. I just sent an email to the agent, man.
Perfect.
No, it's not perfect. At least bump him to hair to Venice Film Festival, like Cronenberg.
I couldn't. She wasn't doing press because she fucking hated Don't Worry Darling. So,
by the way, Joe. You know that if she stars in Star Wars, she would be called Florence Pew Pew Pew.
That's very good. It's very good. That's actually a dad joke I can get behind. But it's defeated Andrea, apparently.
Good. Yes.
But yeah, on serious talk, I'm excited for anything William Oldroyd does. To be fair, when I finished Lady Macbeth, I was like, I hope this guy makes more movies, and apparently he's making another movie. So, it's good.
So I'm really looking forward to that as well. Okay, now we've got another horror movie to talk about, and that is the upcoming, I know a lot of people are excited for this, not that much in my case, Scream 6. According to Collider, Ghostface is deadlier than ever in the new trailer for Scream 6. The highly anticipated slasher sequel will take the iconic killer to New York City as they hunt down the latest Woodsboro survivors, played by Jenna Ortega and Melissa Barrera. I know you guys are not too excited about this as well. Franco, anything to say about this upcoming Scream 6 movie?
I mean, I've yet to watch, what was it, Scream 5? I think so, because before this one, because I thought it was a sort of soft reboot.
Yeah, something like that. I haven't watched it, but that's what I read.
Okay, because it's like the Scream 5 skipped the other sequels and did something.
I think it's like a soft reboot.
Okay. Now I have to watch that first. I mean, I don't mind, and I think this would be, in my books, would be in the same level as Trigan. That's how I see it.
Fair enough.
You watched Scream 5, Andrea, or?
No. I just watched the original, I think.
No,
I don't know if I watched Scream 2. I know I watched the original, though.
Scream 1 and 2 I enjoyed very much, because I thought I found them very... they did a good commentary about horror as well.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Joe, you watched the first Scream, right, as well?
I have watched the first Scream, but, I'm not really big on it at all. I get why people like it, because it's meta and it has, these commentaries and stuff, but I like my slashers like I like Halloween. I feel like you kind of there are people that like both, obviously, but I'm much more on the Halloween side than I am on the Scream side, even though I don't like the Halloween remakes. For me, Halloween is just Halloween.
Yeah.
Did you watch the trailer, guys? I actually quite liked the trailer.
Guys, I saw
it
in the cinema when I went to go see Megan the other day.
No, I haven't watched the trailer. Sorry. No, I haven't watched the trailer yet, so...
No, it's actually, I was surprised. There's not a lot of tongue-in-cheek jokes in the trailer. It's mostly focused on the horror and that. So, probably I'll try and give it a go. Maybe I'll try watch Scream 5, since it's a soft reboot. I might as well start from there now. I've only watched the original, so I'll try watch Scream 5 and see if I'm interested to go watch this in the cinema as well. So that's Scream 6, guys. Next up on the How Much Money Has James Cameron Made?
A lot.
Spoiler. Made a lot. His movie has officially passed the $2 billion at the global box office.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Well, isn't it now he's the only director ever with 3 films that have each made $2 billion?
Yep.
So by itself, that is $6 billion. Jesus Christ.
Yep. That's incredible. I think now he's 3 movies in the top 5 all-time grossing movies.
Man, if you gave 5% of that to Malta to make a film, you could change the industry.
James Cameron, if you're listening to this, please.
I mean,
give Franco 2% of $6 billion.
I would make a feast.
You probably go. You probably go crazy. It'd be like Synecdoche, New York, or something. You just go mad.
No, I would do like I would make a pastiche of all the directors that I like, or at least, and like he can come and use the water tanks in Malta as well, since he's.
I mean, to be fair, the guy just makes technology to make his own water. He brings the water to him. He doesn't go to the water.
And water comes to him.
He just creates it. You've ever heard the saying like squeezing water from a stone? It's quite literally what he does.
Sounds scary. or how we say Maltese, يعمل للما يسفن.
Yeah.
He makes water dance basically.
I mean, he pretty much did in this movie. Damn.
Franco, have you seen Avatar yet?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Sure. Okay.
You should.
It's
quite good.
I have no friends. I thought
It's a movie.
You can go on. You can go on alone. I go to the cinema alone all the time.
Let me get a job first again, and then I go to the cinema. All right.
That's fair. A job would help, to be fair.
Yeah, exactly. And hopefully I get jobs after the article I posted on Loverwater. But anyway,
hopefully that gets you jobs from the right people. People that hate the Eurovision.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so moving on to a piece of news I'm particularly excited about. I know my friend has been watching The Mandalorian, and in fact, last week we got a trailer to The Mandalorian Season 3. Now, this is something I wanted to discuss with you guys. You've all watched The Mandalorian, right?
Yes.
And have you all watched the Book of Boba Fett?
No,
unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately, yes, I will agree with Joe. But, Franco, so you watched the trailer of Mandalorian Season 3?
Yes. Looks interesting.
So, what did you think about...
Looks polished again.
Yes, definitely. But before we get into the trailer, spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't watched Book of Boba Fett, but just don't watch it anyways. Do you think it's going to be a bit jarring for people who haven't watched Book of Boba Fett and suddenly see Baby Yoda back with Mando? Because obviously Baby Yoda left with Luke Skywalker at the end of Season 2.
Wait, how did they got together back in Book of Boba Fett?
Exactly. They got together back in Book of Boba Fett.
Yeah, basically my advice would be, if you're going to watch any of Book of Boba Fett, watch, I believe, episodes 4, 5, and 6. Because they're literally just extra episodes of The Mandalorian squeezed into a Boba Fett show, where Boba Fett does not appear in these 3 episodes of a show with his fucking name on it.
And the times where he does show up, he's bloody lame. Holy
so
shit.
Stupid.
Oh, Mandalorian or...
And he's stupid.
Boba Fett.
No. Boba Fett. And he was so good in Mandalorian too. In The Mandalorian, he was really well portrayed. But in his own show, it was a big flop. Even just the stupid stuff he does.
Yep.
The Sarlacc pit scene, I was like, oh my god, what are you doing?
No, we don't talk about such things.
But anyways, going on to more positive stuff. You've guys seen the trailer of Mandalorian Season 3?
Yep.
I had positive thoughts. Franco?
Positive thoughts as well. I vibes with it.
I have not seen it, because with these things, I like to only watch the initial teaser, and then I kind of ignore any and all marketing until it just releases. I did the same thing with The Last of Us, and I was very happy with that. So I can assume what The Mandalorian Season 3 is kind of going to be, especially going off the teaser. So
definitely.
This is the way.
Yes,
this is the way.
Hopefully it will be the way, because I did not like the way it went in Season 2. So
okay. Who's going to direct it? Who's going to direct it? Is Robert Rodriguez still involved? And Jon Favreau?
Good question.
I think Favreau is the showrunner, so he's definitely involved.
Pedro Pascal.
I don't know about direction though. I guess they will have different directors for different episodes, right? Or is that not how The Mandalorian works?
There was Taika Waititi is another different Star Wars thing, right?
No, but he had done the finale of Season 1 of The Mandalorian.
Okay.
I did like when, even though I didn't love the Obi-Wan series, I guess it's just very lukewarm, I do like Deborah Chow when she directs episodes of The Mandalorian.
lukewarm Skywalker. Sorry, I had to say it.
That made me chuckle. Fair enough.
I chuckled.
But yeah, I agree on that.
I chuckled,
agree
but
on
I
that.
hate it at the same time.
I hate myself for chuckling, though. But yeah, I agree. Deborah Chow, I hated I'm not hated. Really disliked Obi-Wan. I wouldn't say I hated it. But yeah, I think her direction in The Mandalorian was very, very good, which is another reason why I was very disappointed with Obi-Wan, by the way. But anyways, so I am really excited about Mandalorian. It comes out in March. By the way, Joe, 83.5 million people did not do what you did, because this trailer broke records in the first 24 hours. It had an impressive 83.5 million views.
That's
Just quite
disgusting.
impressive. Yeah.
That's
Lots of people excited for it.
That's way too many.
Well, yeah, but to be fair, Mandalorian is a like quality show.
Yes, no.
I
I mean, just like in general, I don't think anything should be viewed that many times that quickly, but that's just the world we live in.
In comparison, Obi-Wan Kenobi got 58 million views. Its trailer, just to give you an idea, and a lot of people are excited for that, so that's interesting. What I hope for The Mandalorian Season 3 is I hope Giancarlo Esposito gets... I've never been 100% convinced with his character in the show.
That was actually one of the biggest things I didn't like about Season 1, because they built him up with a lot of mystery, and he seemed very sinister and very cool, and then he was very nothing. He was kind of taken care of in one episode, didn't get a chance to do anything. So I hope we'll get a chance to do something.
He was lukewarm, I have to admit, because
yeah, it felt like he had he had nothing to play with. It was very underwritten. So
that's it. Seriously underwritten. I agree completely. So hopefully he gets better writing and a better part of the role, basically, in the show. And so that is The Mandalorian.
Pedro Pascal
Now,
killing it. Pedro Pascal is here.
Yes, he is. This is the Pedro Pascal era.
I think he's in 4 shows above 89% on Rotten Tomatoes. He's the only actor to have that record.
Damn.
And I really liked him in Narcos as well. Did you guys watch Narcos Season 1 and Season 2? He was very good in that. I mean, obviously everyone talked about Wagner Moura and that as Escobar, but Pedro Pascal was great in that as well. Anyways, guys, I don't even remember. Last week we were talking about Matt Reeves and his interview with Collider, telling them about the fact that he was going to have a meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran. We would have more news about the Batman this week. Well, no news came out about the Batman, but interestingly enough, news came out about a new series. And no, it's not the Penguin series. It's a new series about Buster Keaton, with Rami Malek playing that role, which I find quite interesting, the fact that this news came up this week after Matt Reeves' meeting with James Gunn and Peter Safran. Now, I could be reading too much into it, or there could be something here. Anyways, news about this is that a limited series based on the life of silent comedy star Buster Keaton is currently in the works. Warner Brothers series based on James Curtis's Buster Keaton, A Filmmaker's Life, is set to star award-winning actor Rami Malek in the lead role. Let's start with Franco. What do you think about this, Franco? First of all, the series with Rami Malek, and do you think the Batman is taking a side step here, or
who knows? Who knows, man? I'm not really particularly. Do you feel like Rami Malek is slightly overrated as an actor?
Completely.
Yes.
That's so
very much so.
So there's my take. Okay. Nah, Astra.
I'm curious because I'm reading what it says on the news article here. It says Emmy winner Ted Cohen is in negotiations to write the project. What is Reeves' role in this project? Is he director? Is he creator?
I think it'd be the show. No, the showrunner would be Ted Cohen. Now, I guess he'd be directing it, right?
Yeah. Or he just could be a producer, could be a creator. That's why I find these headlines a bit misleading sometimes, because they say, oh, Matt Reeves' new limited series. Yeah, he could be creating it, it's obviously a big role, and it's going to take away from the time he has doing other things. But
to helm the project, as in, what does that mean to helm the project? That's generally the showrunner, right?
Generally the showrunner and or director.
But if they're getting Ted Cohen, he's going to be running the show. So
I suppose so. Normally in TV, the writer is king. So I don't know. I mean, I'm still firmly of the belief that the Batman is safe, and because he had said like a couple of weeks ago he was deep into writing the sequel. Maybe the Batman will get delayed, which I don't really mind. To be fair, I don't mind if it gets delayed a little bit as long as I see it. In terms of this show, it sounds really harsh, but the fact that it's Rami Malek playing Buster Keaton kind of ruins it for me. Like I'm instantly just like, could have been cool, but I'm just like, Rami Malek. So the guy who was bad Freddie Mercury and the most unmemorable Bond villain, like.
Yes. Oh my man, he was so boring in Bond.
Jesus. Very one-note performance in that dust.
Yeah, and he was really phoning it in as well. Like.
Yep.
He was phoning it in, but he was boring at the same time.
That's I know, like at least phone it in and be like funny.
Exactly. Well, yeah. So like Joe, I agree. That's the one thing that ruins it for me. Rami Malek starring as Buster Keaton. Franco, want to add something?
No, that's it. I mean, what Joe said is basically what I thought as well. So, and plus my hot take was very
all we had to say basically about it.
Hit the nail on the head.
Exactly. Now, in our next,
I have to say, I wish to see him in a. I wish to see him in a good role. That so far I don't think that the roles he took over were his forte. People would swear by Freddie Mercury. Yeah, but
no,
there's performance and there's mimicry, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, and that's why I'm going to rip my hair out when Austin Butler wins the Best Actor for mimicry. So I'm so angry that he's been nominated for that film. I shouldn't be because I like Austin Butler, but I'm so angry.
Andrea, there is your segue.
But actually, no, it's not a segue, Franco, because we have one more news piece. Oh, damn it! We should have done the Oscars now.
I can do it again.
Please do. Times of Malta represents, because I wanted to get Times of Malta in this since that news came up. I'd like to talk just a couple of minutes about Alec Baldwin, who's facing manslaughter charges over Rust. Now, this is something I wanted to discuss with you guys, because obviously I don't have any experience when it comes to film sets. But from your guys' experience, I don't know if you've ever seen guns on film sets. Do you have any experience with that?
Personally, no. But I have spoken to... Yeah, I have never seen guns on a film set, but I have spoken to an armorer in Malta before.
I did have with Buzietta, actually, Istra. I remember we had to film the finale of a click cover, remember? Andrea. And it was interesting because then I got to see how squibs work and what kind of guns you have to use, and I saw also they have a particular at least in Malta, as far as I know, they have a sort of red circle to indicate that it is fake, basically.
Okay. So they don't use real guns here in Malta, right? As far as I know.
Replicas. They use replicas. Even the weight. I remember holding one. The weight feels quite authentic, so to speak. So it's not a toy gun. It's not a toy gun.
And apparently replicas can injure people as well, right?
Yeah, tell that to Brendan Lee. Rest in peace.
Rest in peace. Exactly.
Yeah.
So with regard to this particular story, I don't know if you guys have read about it. I did some digging to get to know as much as possible. Apparently what happened was somehow, I have no idea how, an actual bullet went into the gun, the Colt 45, which was used during rehearsals, and the cinematographer got shot and was unfortunately killed. I don't know how an actual bullet.
What was her name?
What was her name? Helena Hutchins. It also wounded director Joel Souza. Yep, this was October 2021.
Yeah.
I don't know how a bullet actual bullet ended up on stage. I don't know how the armor actually put the bullet in, but I did a bit of research. Apparently, actors are meant to test the gun, so shoot like once or twice to make sure that everything is safe. I'm assuming they didn't do that in this case. With regard to responsibility, guys, what do you think about Alec Baldwin as both as a main star and as a producer of this movie? How much responsibility do you see him having?
He did shirk responsibility at first. So apparently he does have this kind. He maintains an image of being a cool guy, but not much behind the scenes. And even the fact that he immediately like refused to take responsibility. What would you do if you were in his shoes, actually, though, as well?
Yeah, that's why I think it's tough to like criticize him for not immediately taking responsibility, because it's, at least the way I see it, even though Andrea has said like actors are meant to test the gun and shoot it a couple of times. Personally, if it were my set and I were director, I believe in everyone having their role, and that's what they're supposed to do. My actors are there to act; they're not there to test fucking weapons. So for me, that's down to the armorer. Like,
totally agree.
In fact, when I first heard this story, when it first happened, 2 years ago now, my first thought was kind of like, fuck, okay, it's obviously really sad, really tragic, but I'm like, it will be a bit ridiculous if Alec Baldwin gets anything more than involuntary manslaughter, because that's what it is. He was handed a loaded gun, and he was acting and happened to pull the trigger, allegedly, because that's what the scene called for, and unfortunately the gun was loaded. Now, the person responsible for the guns on the set is the armorer. So, at least for me, if everyone's doing their jobs properly, the person who takes any kind of blame, whether it's a mistake, or I'm not claiming that there is, or there is by some like means any kind of malicious intent, it falls to the armorer.
I agree. So yeah, I think there's a lot of question marks, however, to be asked in Hollywood with regard to gun safety. Which I know that a lot of directors have been made more aware of. Yeah. Now that this case happened, I know a lot of people are now refusing to use actual guns.
With the level of CGI we have, you can surely it's gonna look good if you CGI the gun, like a gun being shot. It's
mushak, and sound effects and so on.
If you want any kind of recoil, use a fucking BB gun. Like...
Exactly. Okay. Joe, are you going to do that segue?
Here's someone I'd like to shoot. Shoot with a BB gun. Right. Shoot with a BB gun. I'd like to shoot Baz Luhrmann with a BB gun for making Elvis, because it's probably going to win everything it's nominated for. It shouldn't.
Because you might be accused of misusing electronic devices. This is
it's a BB gun. I'll happily take the charge on shooting someone with a BB gun. Okay, to be really specific, I'd like to shoot Baz Luhrmann in the toe with a child's BB gun. Good? I think we're good.
Now we'll see you in court, Joe, man.
Yeah, better get my suit ready.
So, to explain what Joe is actually talking about, the nominations of the Oscars just came out a few hours ago.
Of course he's
at the very top, Joe.
Yeah, it's alphabetical order. Of course he's at the top.
Actor in a as an actor in a leading role is the first one.
I know.
The first category, and as you said, Austin Butler, named first with an A. He's the first. He's actually.
I'm so glad I didn't miss this. Yeah.
So, Joe agrees with Austin Butler as Elvis. Any other comments with regard to actor in a leading role? Anything you disagree with?
I'm surprised to see Bill Nighy. I haven't seen Living yet, but I like Bill Nighy, so now I'll probably go and watch it if he's nominated for that.
Unfortunately, it's not available online right now. Is it in the cinemas there, Joe?
I think it was, so I might have just missed it, which means I fucked up, but I'll find a way.
Franco?
No, I mean, about the whole Oscars in general, it still seems very white. No, but okay, let's be clear. There's Ki Hye Kwan, Michelle Yeoh, Angela Bassett, Hong Chau. Who else is there? Bryce, what's his name? Mr.
Stephanie Sue.
Stephanie
Stephanie
Shu. Shu, by the way.
Sure it
Eva.
is. Wait.
Yes.
Okay.
Stephanie Shu. And the guy who acted in Causeway. Oof.
Brian Tyree Henry.
Yes, he's also nominated.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Yeah.
I
haven't watched
Atlanta.
Causeway.
Fuck yeah.
I have Atlanta. I really want to get on with that stuff.
Atlanta's really good.
It's really
So
good,
good.
too.
Really, really good.
Because Joe and I said if Ki Hye-kwan doesn't win it, we're gonna make a mess.
Yes, we'll break everything. I mean, if Austin Butler wins, I'll break everything.
Break
You know
everything
who I-
everywhere all at once.
Exactly. Do you know who I want to see win for Best Actor? Just
Oh,
because it would be
Paul
really nice.
Mescal I really want him to
No,
win.
I want Brendan Fraser to win. Because I'm just,
Really?
I'm a
Sir?
big fan of that man. I haven't seen The Whale yet, but I think it'd be a really nice way for him to come back and get his career back. Because he's
Fair
someone
enough. True.
he's someone I
True.
really liked as a kid, and he did something. He took on a role. Like what I remember hearing, like 4 years ago, like Brendan Fraser's taking the lead role in a fucking Darren Aronofsky movie, and I was like, what the fuck is going on here? So it's good. And he just seems I mean, Paul Mescal seems pretty genuine, so does Colin Farrell, and I like Bill Nighy. Austin Butler, for some reason, is still doing the fucking Elvis voice. But Brendan Fraser seems very genuine.
Who do you think is the favorite in this actor in the leading role award? I'm gonna go with. I think Austin. Sorry, Joe. I think Austin Butler is.
I know he won the Golden Globe, so he's probably up there. But a lot of people,
Yeah.
I've been listening to podcasts this week, a lot of people in American media, they think Banshees is going to have a pretty clean sweep of nearly everything.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Banshees is the kind of movie that would sweep.
Yeah, and I'd be happy with that. I'd be happy for Colin Farrell to win for that.
No, definitely.
Colin
definitely.
Farrell really deserves that as well. Listra.
So that's actor in a leading role. Actor in a supporting role. Who? I haven't watched Causeway, so I can't comment about Brian Tyree Henry.
No,
there's only one person who should get this.
Ki Hye-kwan.
Yeah. Ki Hye-kwan has to win this. Fair enough.
He's way too likable in Everything Everywhere All at Once. I'm surprised Judd Hirsch got nominated for his very small part in The Fabelmans.
True.
It's actually impressive. Brendan Gleeson, of course, was going to get nominated.
How long was Judd Hirsch's scene in The Fable? I mean,
7 minutes?
Yeah, something like that.
I'm sure there's an amount of screen time they have to be on screen in the rules, right, for supporting role.
Don't think so.
No?
No, because I mean, didn't Anthony Hopkins win for Silence of the Lambs, and he was on screen for like a collective of like 4 minutes?
Fair enough.
Let's check Judd Hirsch. In the meantime, continue, guys. Judd Hirsch.
True that. Well, anyways, with regard to actor in a supporting role, as in, again, I can't comment about Causeway, but I would give, obviously, favorite to Ki Hye-kwan. He's been winning all the awards, basically, for Everything Everywhere All at Once.
Well,
So that's actor in a supporting role.
He was there for 10, 12 minutes.
Oh. Okay, it's longer than I thought.
I forgot that he was in Uncut Gems. How good that movie. That movie. Wow.
I had to watch that movie again.
Really good. Actress in a leading role. This is also known as the Kate Blanchett role.
There's only really one winner.
No, but even Andrea Riseborough. Andrea Riseborough is
But hers has been really weird. It's just been like a lot of like actors coming out and being like, "Yo, Andrea Riseborough in To Leslie is really good," and all of a sudden she's like nominated for an Oscar.
Yep.
I did not know she was anywhere close to being nominated.
Yeah, it's been
leading role.
been a surprise of like the last like couple of weeks. Just actors like tweeting about her.
This will be a close call. This will be a very close call.
Really?
Yes,
Yeah, I think
it
so.
will.
I don't think so.
It will. I think the only person that doesn't have a chance is
Michelle Williams. And Michelle Williams.
And what is Michelle Williams doing in this? I really did not like her performance in The Fabelmans.
Nope.
I loved The Fabelmans, absolutely adored it, but I thought she was acting in a completely different movie.
Yep.
In The
I
Fabelmans.
thought Paul Dano was better than she was.
Yeah, 100%.
But again,
Michelle Yeoh could take it.
I will defend her performance because there I met people like Michelle Williams in The Fabelmans. So I wouldn't. But it's when you see these persons, they have a different. It's like you say, they seem like they live in a different. plane of existence altogether.
Fair enough. I still think Kate Blanchett is by far and away favorite in this.
I can't wait.
I see.
I can't wait to discuss that movie with you. I want to see it again, Mr. as well. I'm happy to spend another 3 hours watching just her.
Actress in a supporting role, and this I'll also call the Angela Bassett award, because apparently she's going to dominate this. I watched, like I mentioned it, I think last week when we talked about the Golden Globes. I thought her performance was good. I don't know why she's such a big favorite, because again, Kerry Condon I thought was very, very good in Banshees.
Should be Kerry Condon.
I think it should be Kerry Condon as well. Although I won't be upset if Angela Bassett wins it.
Oh,
because
sure.
She was very good.
Sure,
in Black Panther.
Apparently,
she
Hong Chow is very good in The Whale. I haven't seen The Whale yet. It's not out yet.
Haven't watched it either.
I can't wait.
Any idea when it comes out, guys?
Over here next week.
All right.
I can't wait to bawl my eyes out, apparently.
Yeah.
So I believe The Whale and Women Talking come out on the same day here. So I might do a double bill and just emotionally exhaust myself.
Double screening, Joe.
Yep.
That's going to be a tough one, huh? We're going through.
It's okay.
Tissues.
I've seen Speak No Evil. Nothing can hurt me.
There's no information yet on the release date of The Whale here in Malta.
Okay.
No, I think
classic.
With Malta's love for cinematic culture, I think you guys will be lucky to get it.
Yeah.
Culture, Malta. What?
Cool. What culture? Animated feature film. I'm happy to see Puss in Boots: The Last Wish there. Very, very good movie, well deserved. Pinocchio's going to win this, definitely.
It's going to be
clearly.
Pinocchio.
I haven't watched Marcel the Shell with Shoes on.
Same.
But I'm looking forward to watching
Francesca
it.
said she loved it.
Try and watch it. Yes.
I've only seen one of the animated films on that list this year, and it's Pinocchio.
Okay. You haven't watched Turning Red?
No.
Nice.
Never
really
been around
good,
to
huh?
it.
Really good.
I'm in the same boat as Joe. So we're really not fans of animated movies, you and I, Joe.
Usually I am, but just like this year, like the amount of times I've had
Marcel the Shell, like with shoes on a USB stick for ages, and every time like I kind of like turn on my TV and I'll be going through the list of films that like I have on my USB stick, and like I look at it for like 5 minutes and I just go, no, I'd rather watch Aliens again. I don't know why. It's just something.
But I would give Turning Red a chance, guys. It's very, very good. Really, really well written.
I've heard
movie.
it's good. Turning Red.
Really well written movie. And the Sea Beast. I'm surprised to see the Sea Beast there. I really enjoyed the Sea Beast. I don't think it's a best animated feature film deserving movie, but very, very good. Very beautifully animated as well. You love the beast, the design of the beast. I'm sure you'll love if you have a quick look. Let me see if I can find. The Sea Beast had a beautifully animated sea beast.
Really?
And the voice acting by Carl Urban was very, very good as well.
Carl Urban.
That's
to be fair, I prefer Carl Urban when he does voice stuff to when he tries to actually act.
Wait, Judge Dredd, JKM.
But that was good because he was mainly voice acting because he had no face.
Oi.
Not even in The Boys.
Not even in The Boys there.
In The Boys, I didn't get it because he's meant to be Cockney, but he just sounds Australian.
Bloody diabolical.
Bloody diabolical.
Speaking of Dredd, I really want another Judge Dredd. Wasn't that Gareth Evans?
Yes, they got the same. Wasn't he the same guy who did?
No, it wasn't Gareth Evans. It was inspired by The Raid, which is by Gareth Evans. But who was it?
Yes.
He's made other films. Oh my god. Who was it? Pete Travis. What has he made?
Pete Travis. Vantage Point, Endgame, Omar.
Apparently not much.
No, not much.
I remember liking Vantage Point when I was like 13.
But Vantage Point was okay.
Yeah, it's good if you were a 13-year-old.
Yeah,
it's fine. It's decent action.
But you're right about it being inspired from The Raid.
Yeah, I mean it's basically The Raid, but Dredd. I mean,
but Dredd, yeah.
Well, I think that was written by Alex Garland, I believe.
Yes, it was written by Alex Garland. Great turn by Lena. It is Lena. Lena Headey.
Yeah.
Oh, such a good villain. She made a really good villain.
Yes, really underrated and underseen film.
Boosh. Have you watched it, Andrea?
Which movie
Dread.
are we talking about? Dread, yes, I have.
Okay,
yes, I have Dread.
For a second there, I thought it was going to be your new Empty Man.
No, I've watched Dread. And like Joe, I want a second one. I agree.
Empty Man or Dread?
I haven't watched Empty Man, so I can't comment about that. Still going. With regard to, let's move on, guys. We are 1 hour, 10 minutes in. Cinematography, we've got some surprises here. I'm happy with All Quiet on the Western Front. I'm happy that got nominated. I haven't watched Bardo, so I can't comment about that. Elvis.
No, absolutely fucking no. When you got Babylon right there, and you choose.
It's speechless.
I can't think of a good enough example because I don't have the vocabulary in my brain to make it possible. Empire of Light, I can understand it being there, even though I haven't seen it. But it's by Roger Deakins. He's the best to ever do it. I mean, Tar is really well shot.
And Tar, well deserved, definitely cinematography.
Yeah.
Who do you see winning this?
If Elvis does it, I'll kill myself.
No.
I know.
Joe, no.
If Elvis wins cinematography, I resign from the podcast. I'm not watching another film the rest of my life.
Doesn't matter. We'll have Francesca in.
Exactly. You'll be absolutely fine.
And James.
I'll give her the login. I'll give her the login for the TikTok. I'll never watch another film again.
And Cassandra, who liked Elvis.
I know. I bit my tongue hard that episode.
De gustibus.
Okay, so we can skip past costume design, skip past I don't know if you guys want to mention anything about documentary.
Oh, there's Babylon. There's Babylon for costume design. Batman. Directing.
Wait, there was costume design? Oh, I skipped past directing. Oh, that's important. Okay. So with regard to costume design, I was looking for Batman. For costume design, Babylon, Black Panther, Elvis again. Jesus, Elvis got a lot of nominations. Everything, Everywhere, obviously, Mrs. Harris Goes to Paris. I haven't watched that. Not a movie I'm
It probably should be Everything Everywhere All at Once for costume design.
Yeah.
Probably should be.
I'm guessing Elvis is
the whole hall with the whole of it's so cool.
Yes, that's true. That's true. Directing, Banshees of Inisherin with Martin McDonagh.
Another close call.
Another close call. And Daniel yes, definitely. Fabelmans, Steven Spielberg, Tar, Todd Field, and Triangle of Sadness.
Spielberg, no.
Ruben Östlund. This is very close. I can see any of them winning this.
No, I think it's Spielberg.
If Spielberg wins, I'd be disappointed.
I'll be very disappointed, but it's safe.
It's a safe pick. I would give it to Spielberg personally.
Nah. Give it to the Daniels.
Please, the Daniels,
Give it to the Daniels. That's their second film. Give it to the Daniels. Come on.
But if Banshees clears, I mean, Martin McDonagh is going to take it as well.
I wouldn't be upset if Martin McDonagh wins. It would be the first time he's won, so...
Spielberg...
What about Todd Field?
He would deserve it as well, huh?
Yes, to be fair, I haven't even seen Triangle of Sadness, but out of the 5 that we have, if 3 of them won it, I wouldn't be surprised at all. And that being the Daniels, Martin McDonagh, and Todd Field. If any of those 3 won it, I'd be like, yep, fair enough.
Awesome.
I would put 4 of them. I don't think Ruben Östlund should take the directing award, but Martin McDonagh, Daniel Kwan, Daniel Scheinert, Steven Spielberg, and Todd Field all deserve to win it, to be honest.
I think Spielberg will win because it's the narrative. He made a movie about his life, about movies.
But
the Academy like that.
Östlund thinking now that I'm thinking about it, regardless of whether I enjoyed Triangle of Sadness or not, Ruben Östlund has a knack for good directing.
Yes, it's a very, very well directed movie.
Yeah, the Academy like him as well.
Movie. Especially
they tend to like him a lot.
The boat scene again.
Brilliantly directed. Yes, I agree completely. You know what? I think Todd Field should take it now I think about it.
Tar is...
Now I'm thinking about Tar.
Very good.
I think Tar is the kind of movie, the more you think about it, the more you fall in love with it.
Oh, yes. No, I haven't...
Because I came out of it feeling cold.
Yeah.
But the more I think about it, actually now I need to rewatch it as well.
Yeah,
Franco.
I haven't stopped thinking about Tar since the moment it finished.
But that's the brilliance of that movie. It's ambiguous enough to let you think about it. But was she right? Why did I agree with her? And at that point, was the student right? Actually, there was a good take by the Guardian recently, where he didn't go about cancel culture and not cancel culture. He was. I think it was a fair. I'm quoting Fox here, but and Fox News. It was a fair and balanced take on Tar.
I'm sure
I
our
agree.
discussion about Tar at the end of this episode will go into a lot of that.
Definitely. Moving on, we've got just a quick note. Elvis is going to win. Maybe Everything Ever All at Once will win this.
Again, how is Babylon not here? Also, can we acknowledge the elephant in the room that one of the biggest films of the year so far is only up for one thing, which is Top Gun Maverick?
True.
Okay. Wait.
Sound design.
No, I just noticed. Top Gun didn't get cinematography.
Yes,
Was-
exactly. Like,
True.
What the hell?
True.
but
Listen.
fucking Elvis did. Do you realize
And
the
not
hell
even
that we're living in, guys?
Director. I thought, what's his name? The director would get a nomination as well.
Yeah, Joseph Kosinski.
Top Gun.
Krasinski.
Yeah, I thought he would take it instead of Ruben Östlund.
Nope.
Ruben Östlund.
All right, that's a big surprise. I just noticed now that
you know how
mentioned
to
the
say
joke.
you know how to say what the hell in Swedish, Andrea.
What the hell? Guys, I'm watching Vikings Valhalla right now. Forgot to mention it at the start.
Okay.
So I'm inspired.
It all makes sense now.
Yeah. Anyway.
How do you say it, Franco?
Vad fan? Vad fan?
I say this. I say this with all respect to their culture, but that's a stupid language.
No, wait. Have you ever remember back in the days? Quick tangent. There was this Norwegian guy who really made great editing view. So he used to play just one note on a drum and then edit it all together to make a song. I have to find him. And he did this fake documentary about swearing, and the most ridiculous swearing was Finnish. They go perkele, perkele, perkele. It sounds very flowery. Joe is not convinced.
Next.
No.
Yeah, no, he's not. Next up, the thing I'm most offended by, to be honest, and through all of this stuff, international feature film, there is a particular movie which is missing.
They decided to leave out Decision to Leave, basically.
What the fuck? Where is Decision to Leave? I loved it. I absolutely loved that
Decision
movie.
to Leave out, Decision to Leave.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's All Quiet on the Western Front, which I'm happy with. To be honest with you, I haven't watched any of the other movies,
Same.
so I can't comment.
Same.
I haven't heard of EO. I haven't heard of Close. I could just be really ignorant.
No, Close.
Yeah,
Close,
same here.
Close made quite a hit in Cannes. Especially, it's about male friendship and kids, boys, basically. EO, it's a reimagining of Robert Bresson's Ohazar Baltasar. Ohazar Baltasar, it's a reimagining
Okay.
by Jerzy Skolimowski. And The Quiet Girl, it's very interesting. It's a movie in Gaelic.
Okay. That's interesting.
It's highly rated on Rotten Tomatoes, both critics and audience-wise.
I tried to learn a bit of Gaelic when I was in Ireland on my Erasmus, but I've forgotten everything.
How that's on slant. Cheers.
Crike?
What's the crack?
What the crike? All right, this we can skip.
There was Batman.
The
Batman?
Batman only got makeup and
Yeah,
hairstyling.
makeup and hair.
Makeup
Oh,
and
yeah, no,
hairstyling. What underneath his mask?
The black makeup he had to cover his eyes.
I suppose Colin Farrell as the Penguin.
Cool. Yes.
True. I'm happy to see All Quiet on the Western Front. That was some bloody good makeup they put
Yes.
on the characters. Really good.
Why do I get the feeling
Um,
Elvis is going to win that as well?
Yeah, Elvis is winning this. Hands down.
Why the fuck is that film so popular?
Babylon, there's music there.
If
Wait,
that...
Elvis is... Wait, Joe. Elvis is going to carry this.
Fuck, man.
Elvis is going to win a lot of
I know.
Oscars. Elvis is taking most of the technical ones, I think.
Look, as far as I'm concerned, the Oscars don't count this year.
If Elvis doesn't win anything, then they do.
Yeah.
VFX. How about
music.
VFX?
VFX are coming up soon, I think. We've got music. I mean,
So Lux is quite
fair
good,
enough.
huh?
Where's the Batman? But yeah, fine.
Yeah, there should be the Batman there. If I really want Babylon to win, it won't. John Williams will win for The Fabelmans.
Oh,
I've heard a lot of good stuff about the Babylon.
The Babylon soundtrack is... I was literally, just before this podcast, I was cooking dinner and I had it on full blast in my flat and I was bouncing around while cooking. It is incredible, the Babylon soundtrack. It's good. Like, Chazelle never has a bad soundtrack in his film.
Yeah,
This
true,
is the best one by far.
True. This we can skip. Natu Natu.
Oh,
only
Natu is very fun.
our nomination, Franco.
Good, because it would have created a bit of a political. I'm still people still glossing over the political undertones that movie has.
Yes. I haven't seen a lot of people mentioning it. Franco, you're one of the few who mentioned it.
RRR.
Yeah, no, this like all the political issues and all the propaganda with regard to RRR.
H. Williams mentioned it in passing as well. He didn't comment about it since he's not into the culture, but there was a good article about it by one of by part of, because India is divided into regions as well. There's lots of languages in India, as like in fact Telugu, Hindi, Punjab. So there's a lot for a country like India. There's lots of cultures in it, and again, there's the glaring omission of Mahatma Gandhi in this movie as well. So because at the end they make a roster of all the Indian national independent heroes that fought against Britain, you know. So out of all people, you forget to mention the one most prominent. Not that Mahatma Gandhi didn't have nothing weird, especially with his bad romantics. And yeah, but Natu Natu was a fun. Again, Natu Natu is a very fun song. It's like I was bobbing. It's an Hazanabi would call it another, basically.
Another.
You like
okay,
this.
Franco, you asked about visual effects. We've got All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar, Batman, Black Panther, and Top Gun Maverick.
Avatar,
and obviously
please, Avatar.
Well, yes.
Avatar was this.
If it doesn't, then something is seriously wrong with the Academy.
I feel like I've said this like 3, 4, 5 times about All Quiet on the Western Front. I'm really happy they nominated for visual effects because the visual effects in that were really good.
Very good.
Very, 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 very seamless CGI. Like if you had to tell me there was no CGI in that movie, I'd be like, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Everything was practical. So I really liked that. Top Gun Maverick. Was there a lot of CGI in Top Gun Maverick?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, obviously some...
I mean, I don't think they learned how to fly jets at max speeds. But
They did. No. They
did fly.
Yes, but they had pilots fly them. So yes, they were physically in the plane. But I mean, like, the run they had to do is pretty much impossible.
But that was practical, no? As in you had...
Yeah, they shot...
It was
people in...
They shot
it was
the
a
actors.
good mix.
They shot the actors in the cockpit for sure.
Yes. Well, I was saying, like, the plane maneuvers and stuff, some of them, like when they were flying so low, you wouldn't get the clearance to do that kind of stuff.
Yep.
Fair enough.
Yep.
Yeah, I have no idea about
With
flying.
planes that cost hundreds of millions of dollars from the US Army.
Fair enough.
True.
Fair enough. Writing adapted screenplay, we've got... Oh, no.
Yes.
Yes.
The hell is this movie doing in the Oscar
I don't
nominations?
even think it should be there, but I'm happy anyway.
When we're talking, please.
I really want to watch Living, guys.
The fact that it's by Ishiguro makes me really want to watch it.
It's a remake of Akira Kurosawa's Akira. I have to watch Akira first.
That's another reason why. I'm surprised All Quiet on the Western Front is there.
Yeah,
straight
there's
after
a
screenplay.
book.
Mhm.
It was a book, yeah.
And no. Yes, I know it's a book, as in, but I'm surprised like it's there as writing. Top Gun Maverick. Wait, how is Top Gun Maverick?
Because it says story by Peter Craig and Justin Marks. So technically, it's adapted.
Oh, okay, all right. And Women Talking, which is another movie I'm looking forward to watching.
Still reading that. Still very emotionally scarring.
Still. Original screenplay. Banshees. Everything. Fablemans. Tar. Triangle. Yeah, Banshees win this. Hands down.
Banshees
no
or
discussion.
Everything Everywhere All at Once between those two.
Between those two. And
If Fablemans wins screenplay, I'll punch myself in the face.
Tony Kushner, huh?
So what? So what?
It's also a great
I don't
screenplay.
know.
It's a well-directed, well-made film, but it's not a great story.
Yes. No, I agree. It's a very... The director, I think Spielberg deserves it, but... No, we'll see. And finally, the big one. Best Picture. All Quiet on the Western Front.
Elvis
Avatar:
hands
The Way of
down.
Water. But wait, Elvis is in Best Picture. I didn't know that. Banshees of Inisherin. Elvis, surprise, surprise. Everything Everywhere All at Once. The Fablemans. Tar. Top Gun Maverick. Triangle of Sadness. And Women Talking. Only movie I haven't watched is Women Talking. Franco, who takes it?
Mux Elvis. It's everything everywhere all at once, or what else is there? Go up again.
Everything Everywhere All at Once. I mean, Banshees or Fablemans. I think those... or maybe Tar. No, Tar won't take Best Picture. I think Fablemans, Everything Everywhere All at Once, or
Banshees.
Banshees of
I don't
Inisherin.
know.
I think those are the three favorites.
There's a chance Tar could take it because of the Martin Scorsese comments.
Could be.
I think it's the least likely. I think most likely. I mean, I can't even say most likely because I have just a terrible feeling about what's going to happen with Best Picture. I've never been afraid of the Oscars in my life, but now I am.
Wait,
Speaking of,
Avatar is nominated in Best Picture and James Cameron isn't nominated in Best Director.
Yeah,
Damn.
but now Best
interesting.
Picture, there's like way more. There's like 8 films they nominate now.
Yeah, just I think 10. No,
Could be 10. I think it's 10.
5, 6,
Speaking
7,
of
8,
which-
9, 10. Yeah, there's 10.
speaking of which, how about our listeners and our viewers leave us a comment and subscribe and like this video?
Yeah.
Yes,
and follow us on
Let
our
us
social
know.
media.
Definitely.
Yes, please,
Let us know.
please like and follow my TikToks. Thank you.
By the way,
And let us know what you think about the Oscars. Do you think there have been any big emissions from the Oscars? Who do you think will win Best Picture?
Yeah.
Do you think Elvis with Baz Luhrmann will win Best Picture?
I like how you guys take so much joy in my disdain. It feels really...
I didn't hate Elvis.
It's like I don't feel ganged up on at all. So, you know.
I didn't hate Elvis. I actually left the cinema quite liking the movie.
Yeah, but you also didn't think Everywhere All at Once was a great movie, so it's fine.
have yet to watch. I have yet to see. The jury's still out with me about Elvis, so I don't know.
Don't waste your time, Franco. if you want a really stylish film, but it also has substance, go watch Babylon.
Okay. Or Top Gun.
I will try and watch it.
Or Top
by
Gun.
the way.
Yeah.
Or Top Gun. Yeah. Okay, so that's. By the way, Joe, who do you see as favorites for Best Picture?
I
Obviously,
think because I mean everyone is mentioning that Banshees could do quite a sweep. I'd be very happy if Banshees won, because that was my #1 film of the year. I love the Banshees of Inisherin. Seen it twice. I will definitely see it again. I would also love if Everything Everywhere All at Once won it, just because of what that film represents and what it is.
I'd be happy if Tar would win it as well. I could see Tar winning it. It's weird that Women Talking is nominated because there's not much buzz around Women Talking, is there?
I want to see that film. I'm excited for it. I'm reading the book. But yeah, if Elvis wins, it's be a very dark time in my life. I might have to skip an episode.
oh my god.
It'll be bad.
All right.
No.
You guys actually should get. I'll call him out. I've spoken to Bruce before. We've hung out before. Bruce is a nice guy. He knows.
No.
And We had a little comment spat today where, to be fair, I chose violence and I was asking for it, but we did agree to disagree at the end of the day. If you guys like when Elvis inevitably wins Best Picture, you guys can have Bruce on, and I'll sit back and I'll lick my wounds.
And Joe, Tom Hanks not getting nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
Good, he sucked.
He got her.
But instead getting nominated for the
Razzie.
Razzie.
Yes, he should win that.
Tiro.
The yellow. Okay, guys, so that's the Oscars. Moving on, we have a short discussion. It has to be short because of time. Considering the great success of The Last of Us, I've only watched the first episode. Joe and Franco have watched the first 2 episodes. I wanted to spend some time, just a few minutes, talking about video game adaptations. And is it true that they have always sucked? So, before we start, I have a list of some of the best video game adaptations in the past. Starting off with Super Mario Bros. In 1993, Street Fighter with Van Damme, Tekken, which came out in 2009. Tekken 2.
These are the best which you're mentioning.
No.
Yes, like the very best. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. These are the worst.
I was just like, wait, you start with Super Mario Bros.
Do you remember Max Payne with Mark Wahlberg?
Actually, yes, I do.
Wing Commander. These movies.
Painful memories.
Painful. Far Cry. There was a Far Cry.
Yeah. I'll say
Uebon. Was it by Uebon?
Yeah. I was gonna say technically not a video game movie, but also technically a video game movie and just one of the worst films I've ever seen. Have you guys ever seen the Dragon Ball Z live action movie?
Oh my god.
Oh, that's a special kind of bad.
Oh my god.
I loved the cartoons and the games growing up. Absolutely loved them. But yeah, the live action film. I can when I mention it, I can almost smell the trash from here.
Yeah. An Asian character played by another American. You know, like Ghost in the Shell.
There's like one Asian in the film.
Yeah, exactly.
Jesus. Franco, you've played a few games, but you wouldn't define yourself as, if I had to ask you into gamer, as a not a very avid gamer, have you watched any of these like video game adaptations?
I've watched Last of Us. Let's start with Last of Us. Last of Us.
Yes, let's start with Last of Us first of all.
I told Joe that me being a non-gamer and being peripherally aware of Last of Us, that was very good. Good tension throughout. In fact, I was wondering, like, why haven't I watched Chernobyl yet? Because Craig Mason did an amazing job. And I like that also Neil Druckmann is involved in this, because it gives. Was Neil Druckmann involved in Uncharted, in the Uncharted game?
I believe he became involved after Uncharted 3.
No.
Uncharted 4 was brilliant. Damn, Uncharted 4 was so good.
No, I'm saying as a filmmaker, because
with the Uncharted movie? No.
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 But maybe that.
No, he wasn't.
That is what spurred him to be involved, totally hands-on about this project, because I can see how faithful it is to the game as far as production design goes, monster designs.
I think with The Last of Us really is like his thing at Naughty Dog. I know that there's like now the controversy about Bruce Straley because he was involved in the first one, but Neil really does like he spearheaded the whole Last of Us podcast before the Last of Us Part 2 came out. It's really like his like big life's work, I think, the way he treats it. So.
No, true. I can see it. I can see it, and the casting is well done. Anna Torv, which I have a soft spot about. Just especially seeing her in Mindhunter.
Rest in peace, Mindhunter.
So it's not going to be.
No, it's been cancelled years ago. Mindhunter.
God damn it!
It was one of my new favorite shows. I was like, "Fuck, man, David Fincher's making like the best TV show ever," and then they cancelled it.
True.
Classic Netflix.
But they never canceled the successful series.
No, they don't.
It only has like 94% on Rotten Tomatoes. No.
What did I say? So I wrote down. By the way, trivia time. Speaking of nepo babies, Nico Parker, what's her name? Sarah, the daughter in the beginning. She's the daughter of Tandy Newton.
Wow, that makes total sense now.
And she
looks exactly like Tandy Newton.
Yeah.
I was actually thinking to myself when watching the show, like, this girl kind of looks like Tandy Newton.
Tandy Newton. Great casting, amazing setting, tight storyline with sustained tension. I really loved, even though it was a small part, the Iburatna sequence when she goes and...
Don't spoil, please, guys. I haven't watched episode 2.
Astra, even now, it made me sad how she's... It is a punch. It's a gut punch.
As in, I know what happens because I've played the game, so...
And I wanted, speaking of Indonesia, I wanted to... Quick tangent. Guys, do watch some Indonesian horror, because there are some quite good ones out there.
Interesting.
I know about Satan's Slaves, I was enjoying Satan's Slaves. And... Joko Anwar, the director is Joko Anwar. So there's Satan's Slaves. Impetigore. I really enjoyed Impetigore. And he's got others. I want to check them out. Queen of Black Magic. And one of the first, if you remember VHS, that movie anthology. In the first anthology, there was an Indonesian horror. I think Timota Azato. I really loved that segment and it was by. That's the one. That's exactly the one.
Adding those to my list right now.
And
anything else, Franco, about Last of Us?
Yeah, it was. I called it a creative marriage made in heaven between Maiden and Druckmann, and another. And also a shout out about the creature design, with a great picture of practical and VFX, and big shout out to the VFX by DNEG, because speaking of seamless VFX, I mean the city looks fantastic. How much I liked Depeche Mode, by the way, as well. Taking a ride with my best friend. Love that song.
Yeah.
Joe, your thoughts about the first 2 episodes?
I'm feeling very good at the moment. I mean, as you guys know, I'm a huge fan of the games, and we've spoken in podcasts previously about my thoughts towards the series and it coming, and I was like very much like, ooh, I'm excited, but I don't want to be, because what if it sucks? So far, it hasn't sucked. Like, the very best thing that it's done, and I think Andrea will agree with me as someone who has played the games, is when you play the games, there's just a certain amount of tension that the game puts into you. It's like in situations when there are runners, or there's a clicker, or there's another bigger infected. The tension that you feel when you play the games, and like the sheer panic, where you're just like, with the controller, you're like, fuck the whole time. The show has actually managed to recreate that.
Totally agree.
That's the best thing that they've done. If they can keep that with the encounters, and then the emotional moments are still there, because, I mean, we've all seen the first episode. Skip the next 30 seconds if you don't want to spoil it for the first episode. The scene when Sarah dies. I've played the game 5 times, and each time that scene would really affect me. And every time I go, the scene is coming,
that breaks
it's not going to affect me. Then the scene comes, and suddenly I'm crying. And then that music, man, the music just does it.
Then
I'm watching it on the TV. I'm like, I know what's going to happen here. I've seen this 5 times before, and I've played through it. Whoops, I'm crying.
That's kind of good. Gustavo Santaolalla. Yes,
I have to mention. The soundtrack is incredible.
So good, man.
Same music, right? So good.
Yeah. But he's not the composer in this
true
series, however. He is working with the composer, So obviously he did the theme song, because that's the same one as from the game. But he's working with the actual composer in the series. I don't know who the actual composer is in the series, but
he's got the music by credit on it, on the opening credits. It says
yes, for the team, team.
And shout out to the cinematographers as well, women cinematographers.
Definitely.
Mostly women cinematographers.
Interesting. So I anything else, Joe, by the way, I want to mention about The Last of Us?
No, I mean, long may it continue. I really like it so far. It's very good.
It's a good streak. It's a very, very good streak.
And I'm liking. I won't reveal them because Andrea hasn't seen the second episode, but there are some in the first episode. I'm liking some of the changes that they've made from the games, in how things work. Some of them, like there's one which I didn't like in particular, but then it's kind of explained in a good way, in the second episode as to why it's done. And I went like, wow, okay, that's pretty good the way you've done that. So it's a good change and you've justified it. You haven't just like removed it and done something stupid. It's a very good justified change. So I'm curious to see what comes.
So I'm going to use that as a segue to talking about video game adaptations. When talking about video adaptations, like I've mentioned, loads of movies have sucked. Now, loads of these movies I've mentioned sucked because they were bad. They could have been 100% loyal to the original game, they would still have sucked. But recently, there's been a bit of a change. So I don't know if you guys have watched Pokemon Detective Pikachu.
I did.
I didn't yet.
It wasn't awful, I think.
No, I felt pretty differently about Detective.
Really?
Yeah,
you hated it.
Detective Pikachu, like my friends were like they were like semi-enjoying it, making fun of it. I just got angrier and angrier the more it went on. I don't know why. And the whole twist, I literally called like 40 minutes into the film. I'm like, this is going to happen. I'll bet fucking money on it. And it did. And being frank, like I played Pokemon when I was a kid. It was fun. I'm not the biggest Pokemon fan now, so I didn't really care about it. That's me.
There's that. There's the Sonic movies.
Haven't seen them.
Which
seen the first.
I really enjoy.
Seen the first one. Not bad. Seen the first one. Not bad.
Oh, Franco.
No, again,
really not bad at all.
Bad. And I've seen.
I might watch them.
I still yet to watch the second one.
Watch the second one, Franco. I thought the second one was better than the first one.
Okay.
There is a small section in the movie which is completely unnecessary, wastes a lot of time. And you know which one as you watch it, because once they go into that tangent, it's awful. But once they go back to Sonic, because literally there's no Sonic in like 20 minutes of the movie, which is...
Idris Elba as Knuckles. That's the iconic.
Yes. That is very, very, very good voice acting. That's a very good casting for Knuckles.
Okay.
I really liked it. So there's the Sonic movies. I mean, there was Uncharted, which I really disliked. I won't say it was as bad as House of the Dead.
It's a bad film,
but not as bad as the other movies I mentioned.
No, but I mean, a lot of those were made like pre-2004.
Yes,
for
exactly.
sure. Castlevania
is incredible.
I was going to get to that. There's Warcraft, which is... Have you guys watched Warcraft?
Bad film. Pretty bad film.
I know it's directed.
I didn't hate it.
It's directed by, again, trivia time. Nepo Baby trivia time.
Nepo Baby, yeah.
He's the son of David Bowie, Duncan Jones.
Yeah. Duncan Jones. He made one really good film in Moon.
With Sam Rockwell.
And then he made Warcraft for some reason, and then he fucked his career into the ground with Mute.
But then he made he also made what's his name, Source Code with Jake
Gyllenhaal. That was before Moon, Source Code.
No, before Warcraft. Just a second, let's see.
I'm sure it was Source Code, Moon, Warcraft, Mute.
Moon, Source Code, Warcraft, Mute.
Okay.
And an interesting thing is Warcraft is highly rated by the audience. 76.
Yes.
That's because it's all World of Warcraft nerds that don't socialize. So
I am a World of Warcraft nerd, and I didn't hate Warcraft.
I did.
I'm going to be honest. I am a big Warcraft nerd. I played World of Warcraft for years and years. I used to play Warcraft 3 a lot back in the day. And I actually didn't hate it. You know what the issue with Warcraft was? If you hadn't played the original Warcraft games, you have absolutely no idea what's going on. All the lore, barely any of it is explained.
Do you know what? You know why I really didn't like it? I really fucking hated the guy who played Khadgar.
Khadgar.
Who was Khadgar? Let me see.
Ben
just didn't-
Schnitzer. Ben Schnitzer.
That's him.
Ben
It just didn't
Schnitzer.
fit.
Who is Ben Schnitzer? I've never heard of
Well,
him.
you
I'm
apparently
gonna be
liked him in
honest.
Warcraft, so
No, but I'm not saying I liked it. As in, I liked it. Yes, no, I would say I liked it actually.
no, I think you were blinded by member berries there.
Maybe.
Ben Foster was fucking terrible in the film as well. It's also one thing I couldn't understand as well is that the big orcs, when they were CGI, they looked good because the CGI was good, like Duratan and all those. Then why okay, I get that she was meant to be half human, but why was Garona then just Paula Patton in a really bad makeup? It looked stupid.
I mean, you explained why, because she's half and half.
Yes, but like just making
I
CGI,
agree, I
like
agree with
just
you.
look stupid.
Yeah, I agree. So anyways, that was Warcraft. We also had that horrible Assassin's Creed movie.
You know, that was actually one where me and a friend of mine, we watched it one night. We're like, oh, let's watch the Assassin's Creed movie. This will suck and we can hate this movie together. And then we were kind of just like, this is just really inoffensive and like, it's not the worst movie in the world, but it's like not bad enough to like make fun of at the same time.
My issue with it was all the modern scenes were boring as
Yes,
fuck.
I mean, but that's like the Assassin's Creed games.
Boring as fuck. Holy shit. Franco, did you watch
I
Assassin's
haven't
Creed?
watched it yet. I know it was filmed here. Like how much of it was filmed here? And
A
shout
lot.
out
Quite a lot.
Thomas Camilleri. He was the one playing the king, right?
Oh shit, really?
King Ferdinand. Yes, he was from King Ferdinand.
Okay. Damn.
There's a frame. If you go on the internet and search for Thomas Camilleri, King Ferdinand, you see him quite prominently.
Interesting. Anyway, so that's Assassin's Creed. Then there were some very good series. Arcane, Cyberpunk Edge Runners, Castlevania, Netflix's Castlevania. Apparently Dragon's Dogma is actually a pretty good animated
There's a
series
Dragon's
as well
Dogma animated
on Netflix.
series?
Yep,
What?
there is. I didn't know. I
Dragon's
was doing
what?
some research and I
Dragon's?
found out about it. Dragon's Dogma. I love
Yeah, I
the
was
game.
going to say, 'cause I love the game. I'd love to watch a series about that.
Dragon's Dogma. Okay, it's new for me.
Yes, there is. Then there's the Witcher series with Henry Cavill. Rip Henry Cavill no longer, actually. And the Halo series, which I really hated.
Apparently Halo was bad.
Dude, yeah, the CGI. But man, the CGI was bad in
please,
that.
And please do at Corridor Digital, because they made such a good breakdown of why it is bad. The main battle was
The CGI ocean in Halo.
The main battle was
The main battle was so bad. I was staring at my screen thinking the original Halo, the first Halo game, had better,
they said
CGI than this.
I still
horrific.
dream of Neil Blomkamp's Halo.
they actually made a good comparison with it of why it worked better, because they said that Neil Blomkamp's version of Halo was much more grounded in reality. That's what they said.
Yeah, the little bit of like development footage there is of that looks like District 9 with Halo. It looks cool as hell.
Yes. But that's what they pointed out. I mean, the effects are what they are, but for a concept, it was great.
Yeah.
Guys, we forgot to mention Doom with our favorite actor.
Oh my god! I remember my dad rented that film for me when I was like
Jesus.
12.
My God.
And I was like, I used to watch my brother play these video games. And I watched the movie and I was just like, I remember me and my dad, at one point, there's a segment in that film where it goes first person. And we were just like, what the fuck is going on?
The first person scene.
Same.
That was Carl Urban, check.
Yeah, Carl Urban and The
Ah,
Rock.
That was, how bad that
Same
was.
thing with
Jesus.
Halo. Halo goes into first person and it doesn't work.
Yes. It just
That's
doesn't
the gimmick.
work. Just please stop doing it.
Can I
Anyways, to get to the point. Yes, Franco, go ahead.
Okay,
and then I'll get to the
say
point.
your point first, and then I'll tell you something.
No, to get to the point, what I want, the whole point of all this, mentioning all of these is, how important do you think is it for a video game adaptation to be loyal to its source material? Joe, you want to start?
It depends, I think. Because, in all honesty, like, which we've mentioned Doom, right? Do you know how you make a really good Doom movie?
With
You
lots
get-
of gore.
No, well, but you get James Cameron's Aliens, and you set it in a Dune world. That's how you make a really good
True.
Doom
True.
movie. That would be really cool, where you have this one protagonist, and you like literally started like the game. Start this guy. He wakes up in hell for some reason. And just go from there, and it's action, and that's all it is. You can make a good Doom movie.
You would mix Aliens and Event Horizon.
Exactly. Yeah. That's it. That's exactly it. It can be done. Then when you get the stuff which has very deep lore or a very good story, like I love what they're doing with Castlevania, for example, where it's like prequel to the games in a way, and then it goes to
So
the story of
good.
the games.
So
It's
good.
incredible, Castlevania.
That's one of the best series.
It's
So
one of the
good.
things I couldn't understand about Uncharted, for example. Uncharted, there are 4, technically 5 games now, if you include the Lost Legacy, even though that doesn't include Nathan Drake, but 4 games about Nathan Drake. And it tells you everything you need to know about this guy. You get his beginning, his middle, and his end, and a bit more of his beginning as well. You even get, because the main game is about him and his partner Sully, in the 3rd game, you even get how he meets Sully for the first time. So I didn't understand any of the decisions made in the fucking abhorrent Sony movie, where they didn't take anything from the Uncharted games in terms of Drake's character
Nothing.
and its story. But then they're taking like one particular action set piece from Uncharted 3, the part on the plane, and they're putting that in the film.
The plane, exactly.
Like, it begs belief how, even for that, the template is right there. We've had a good Uncharted movie. It just hasn't been called Uncharted. It's been called Indiana Jones. Because that's all it needs to be.
Vero.
Uh-huh.
Speaking of which,
True,
guys, Tomb Raider. I have something.
You know, I haven't watched the movie.
Oh my god.
Do you remember? Do you remember something called CDs?
Didn't you two do the soundtrack for that?
Concepta.
Who?
Didn't you two do some of the soundtrack for that?
There was something by Elevation.
Yes, Elevation. I remember I used to love that song as a kid. Jesus Christ. I went to see.
XL.
Yeah, I went to see Tomb Raider opening night,
Nice.
Cinema 16 at Eden when I was like, I think 11.
And to be honest, it has quite a good roster. Huh? There's 9 Inch Nails.
I'm sure it
Chemical,
does. That was a time everyone would want to be on a film soundtrack.
Chemical Brothers, Outcast, Moby.
Yeah.
Talking about Tomb Raider, Joe, have you tried the new Tomb Raider
have.
games?
They are Uncharted wannabes.
But did you like playing them, or I actually quite enjoyed them, to be honest.
I played the first one. I couldn't make it through the other 2. They were just too much of the same
Try.
thing.
I really liked 2. I didn't really like 3 that much. 2 I loved, actually, to be honest. The Tomb Raider 2. And the graphics, man, the graphics in those games. Franco, you want to add something before?
Don't you think?
Go ahead.
Don't you think Free Guy is a good video game movie without it being an adaptation movie?
I would answer that if I watched Free Guy, which I did not.
You watched Free Guy? Joe.
I did. I remember I actually went to the cinema to watch Free Guy just because I was happy to be allowed to go into a cinema when it was out. So I was like, I'll go watch anything at the cinema now.
Oh, true. Because that was pandemic time, right?
Yeah, it was when we were just starting to like properly. It wasn't like when Tenet came out and like the cinema opened for like a month and then it closed again. It was like when like things had been open for like they've been open for like 2 months at this point. So we're like, oh, okay, like back to normal life. So I did go to see it. It's very okay.
I enjoyed it. Again, you have to switch off we have to switch off our film criticism.
Oh yeah, no, but you also have to
modules.
switch off your game criticism as well.
And I was going to mention, speaking of which, Spielberg. We're mentioning Spielberg. Ready Player One.
Oh, fuck that movie. That movie sucks.
I didn't hate
I
Ready
hated
Player
that
One.
I watched it on the way. I think I watched it on the way to Korea. Well,
Just trying to put The Shining in your movie to act like it's a good movie. It's not.
You don't like The Shining?
No, I love The Shining. I don't like that Steven Spielberg set a fucking part of his movie in The Shining to make me go, ooh, The Shining.
Okay. That was one, and
There were thoughts of them making a second one, by the way.
Thank God they didn't do that.
That was... Who directed that?
Spielberg. Spielberg.
Yes,
Spielberg
this was
directed
after his
that.
run, after like,
Oh shit, I thought
after
he
doing
just...
like the BFG and other shit like that.
Oh, damn, I thought he just produced...
No.
Oh, okay, I thought he just produced it, Astra. All right.
Speaking
Okay.
of Super Mario,
I like it a little less then.
speaking of Super
Oh,
Mario
I know he
Brothers,
was-
because now it's got the new movies coming out. Are you looking forward for the new one? I'm like,
No.
Nah.
I've never been
really.
huge on Super Mario, and just
Neither have
why
I,
is
to
Chris
be
Pratt
honest. So
in it? Why don't you just get an Italian person to do it?
it's a me, it's a Mario.
Mario.
And
And,
he just sounds like Chris Pratt. It's just like he's just speaking.
And
Yep.
Bob Hoskins has so many good takes. I was reading
Yeah.
the Kotaku article where he goes like he didn't know it was a video game character. His kids told him that, and he's like he paused for a second and said, "I used to play King Lear." And he went to play like they really hated it, even John Leguizamo. Like the couple of directors were horrible directors. The Goombas. What on?
Can we talk about Yoshi? What's an actual velociraptor?
Oh yes. Yoshi, true. And
Yeah.
Oh,
Video game movies are a tough one.
Silent Hill. You remember?
yes, they are.
Silent Hill. You
I'm
Silent
about to
Hill.
defend Silent Hill. It's not.
No.
It is not as bad as people say it is.
Stuckman.
Because
No.
Stuckman agrees with you, Joe.
yeah, because there is people who are fans of Silent Hill, and here's the thing: I never actually played Silent Hill because I was only a very small child when it came out. I was about 5 or 6 years old.
Joe, which Silent Hill are we talking about, by the way? Because there are two
The
first
first
one.
Silent Hill movie.
The first one, all right.
Yeah, I was very young when Silent Hill, the games, came out, but I watched my brother and my cousin play through the entire thing whilst it traumatized me and probably gave me my love for horror, now when I think about it. There is a lot of like little things from the games in the Silent Hill movies, particularly what I really like. They made, because obviously back then, you didn't have analog sticks back then on a controller. Everything was on the D-pad, like the arrow keys, basically. So you couldn't have a camera which you can look around freely. You had fixed camera angles. And the way they did that, like they literally copied and pasted camera angles from like hallways in the game into the film. And that's showing like a real love for the source material when you go back and you do that. So the film isn't perfect, and it's mainly from a writing point of view where it's not perfect, and especially compared to the likes of Silent Hill 2, which is one of the best ever psychological horror stories ever, in my opinion. It's hard to reach that bar, but it's not as bad as people say the Silent Hill film. I have quite a bit of respect for it.
But I would remake it, Astra.
Fair
I
enough.
would remake it, and see if you agree with me. I would this is an exercise that Quentin Tarantino did with cinema speculation. I would remake Silent Hill with Takeshi Miike as the director.
I like it and I don't at the same time.
Or Ari Aster. How what about that?
Yes, 1,000 million billion times yes.
Because like I remember watching it. I remember the scene with Stranglehead was creepy, but I was left a bit like nonplussed.
Yeah, I think Mika would be I feel like Silent Hill, it has to be extremely grounded. I feel like Mika
Yes,
would take it a
100%.
bit too wild, but he'd get the gore and he'd get the terror right.
I think Ari Aster, as far as setting goes, seeing Midsommar, how he did with
Yes,
Midsommar.
no, he'd do very well in that. I'm trying to think who else I would pick for something like that.
atmospheric horror. Who did the great atmospheric horror? Mike Flanagan.
Mike
Yes,
Flanagan, I like
Flanagan
that.
would take on the psychological aspect very well. Do you know who I would love
Yes, Mike
see
Flanagan,
do
I
it,
agree.
but she never will, and I want to know what film she's making next because, frankly, I miss her. Jennifer Kent.
True. No, Jennifer Kent.
What was her last
Nightingale.
movie? Lustra?
But she
been a
also,
while
she
now,
also was
Nightingale.
part of Del Toro's Cabinet of Curiosities.
Yes, but I want to actually make a film.
Uh-huh.
How true.
All right, guys, shall we move on? That's pretty much our discussion on video game adaptations done and
one last
dusted. Go ahead, Franco.
question. What is a video game that we would like to see as a movie? Apart from God of War.
Good question.
I don't want to
Because-
see God of War. I
No,
see
neither
it
do
when
I.
I play it. I don't need to see it.
But I was gonna suggest Outlast and Evil Within.
Outlast would be a very, very good claustrophobic found footage horror film. Extremely good.
Oh, yes.
I like.
But Outlast and Evil Within, I feel like we have already seen those in the cinemas.
We kind of have, but have you guys seen the film Wreck? There's a Spanish film. REC.
Oh yes.
If you did,
Not the American remake.
no,
Just
not the
watch-
American remake Quarantine. Wreck, the original is really good.
No, I watched Quarantine,
if
actually.
you did The Last of Us like that, where you're stuck in one location with the kind of like Last of Us creatures, would be very, very effective. Very effective.
That's a great film, man.
I actually have, Franco, if you are interested, because you probably have more means to make the movies at the moment than I do. And I would happily take a writing credit at this point. I have a script which I based heavily. Did you guys ever play or hear of PT, the Silent Hills playable teaser?
Oh God, that's so good. I saw it.
What's that, Joe?
Did you never?
Hideo Kojima.
Yeah,
Hideo
Hideo Kojima. Basically, to give you context about the whole thing, one day Kojima announced that he's making a new game and there'd be a new playable teaser coming to the PlayStation Store, and it came up. It was actually called PT, and no one knew what it was for. But it was this terrifying experience of basically walking down like a repeating hallway, and shit happens. I highly recommend you watch a playthrough of it. Do it in the dark alone at night, and thank me later.
Okay.
And it turned out.
Is it still available?
No,
Joe?
the terrible thing is
damn
because Kojima parted ways with Konami, they killed the project.
Oh, yeah.
It was basically, it was going to be a Silent Hill like reboot called Silent Hills, starring Norman Reedus in the game and written with Guillermo del Toro.
Oh wait, you sent. By the way,
Okay.
you sent. Yeah, I remember you sent me a spec script for this.
Yes, that's the very one I'm
Yeah,
talking
yeah.
about. If you'd like to give it another read,
remember.
that's what it wouldn't take much to produce that, I don't think.
Franco, I have a couple of ideas because I went through a few games I've played recently, and I don't know if you remember, I had mentioned I was playing Dragon Age, and I think that might make a decent
There's
movie,
The
an interesting
new
fantasy movie.
Dungeons and Dragons with Chris Pine.
Oh, mama. No, I'm talking. No,
Guys,
not
we're
Dungeons and Dragons.
forgetting. Angry Birds was a movie.
Holy shit, it was.
It was, damn.
Can you imagine Candy Crush the movie? Or
I'm serious,
Tetris.
What would make a good TV series, because the game is very episodic anyway? Alan Wake.
Oh yes.
Fair enough. But isn't that also like a
It is,
movie
yeah, but
in a way?
it's episodic. It's very Twin Peaks, Stephen
very
King.
Twin
Yes,
Peaks.
So
make a
what's
very
the point
good
of
film.
making something like Alan Wake into a series?
Different
I mean,
medium.
but I mean, what's the point of making any
I
of
mean,
these
it
into a
was
series already? At that point?
inspired by Twin Peaks. So
Yes.
there's
Thinking of another game, one of my favorites, absolute favorites, BioShock.
That's been that was almost made. It was, what's his name? He did A Cure for Wellness.
Gore Verbinski.
Yes, Gore Verbinski was going to make one years ago. He tried to get it off the ground, but it never happened.
You need a lot of money for
Zack
that,
Snyder.
especially if you're doing the last one, Infinite.
Zack Snyder might be good for BioShock, no?
There is a lot of story there.
No.
There are a lot of teams you need
Yeah.
to touch on, and I don't want...
Okay.
To be fair, there's a lot of the like religious themes in it, so
Yeah.
maybe Zack Snyder could do it. But yeah, that's another
Yeah.
idea I had. Okay, let's move on, guys, because we have the reviews now. Trigan, shall we review it, guys, or
Oh, the three.
shall we just say it's an okay
it's
movie?
funny. It's funny. We saw the three of us saw Trigan. Intriguing, by the way, which means model third generation.
Model 3. Yeah,
Model
Model 3.
generation Android.
Yeah,
That's what it means.
something like that.
Talking about you, I gave it a 3 out of 5. By the
Nah.
way.
I would agree with what's Andrea's rating.
I gave it just a bit less. I gave it 2.5.
It could have been more. It could have been definitely been more.
Definitely. Lots of potential.
Some moments really got me.
I'm looking forward to the second
moments
one.
really got me. Like, to be completely honest, as soon as the film started, and I didn't even realize it had started because it opens with that ad of the perpetual pets, and I was laughing my ass off by myself. And I was like, I remember at one point, as soon as that advert finished in the film, I remember slapping down on my thigh and I said, "This is gonna be the fucking best if it's like this for the rest of the film." And unfortunately, there were only then glimpses of that level of satire. There were like the times when like it really like steered into the satire. I was like, "This is really good. This is like so self-aware and it's like stupid and it's funny at the same time." But then like, for me, what really killed it was the second act, because there's just so much there. I get that like you need to like see them hang out and stuff like that, and they have to do the dances and all of that shit.
Wait, let's do it together. And you can use this as a TikTok. Wait, 3, 2, 1. To this
I'm
side
not dancing.
and this. Wait. Okay, so where are you going? Where are you going?
I'm gonna go to my left.
Okay, so 3, 2, 1.
1, go.
For people on listening to this on Spotify, right now, Joe and Franco are doing the Trigan dance.
Basically,
And I think that's your TikTok.
With titanium playing, which you can't play because of copyright reasons.
But that's this.
I'm bulletproof.
why is that a lullaby?
That was that's the exact same reaction I had. You can ask Andrea. I was laughing like my laughter was booming around the cinema.
See, on the use of titanium, that's also very clever, because they
Very
mentioned
clever. Very clever.
Megan is made of a
Yes,
titanium
it's
core,
true.
so she's literally titanium.
Well, yeah.
And
I'm going to be honest, that I cringed a
Yes,
little
but like
bit now at
it's
the
a good level
titanium
of
part.
But it's a
I
good-
do like as well.
Yes, fair enough.
It gets extra points. The only other kid we get to know in the film is an absolute piece of shit that tells his mum to fuck off. I love that. I love that. When she was like, "Honey, are you warm enough?" She's like, "Fuck off, mom."
Fuck up. And spoiler alert, stop if you haven't watched it. And
Yes.
then dies.
in a hilarious way.
In a hilarious way. And I was like, whoa, so
they went there.
Okay.
It could
They
have
went there.
afforded more gore. I think that left.
Yeah,
it's
it's
the
the PG-13 problem.
I have
PG-13
yet to
problems.
watch his first foray, because he's the one who directed Housebound, and
Haven't seen
Housebound
that.
gets quite a good rep. I think it's a New Zealand movie. I think the director is from New Zealand. Is it? Yeah, Gerard Johnston.
So, you know, I like, as much as I want to, and as much as I like her, I didn't buy Alison Williams as this like great toy maker. I just
Shout,
didn't.
shout out Amy Donald, by the way, the girl who played the robot.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, she was
Very,
very,
very
very
good.
good.
Very,
But no,
very good.
I didn't feel like I wasted my money with, despite rating it only a 2.5 out of 5. It was still a decently fun time at the cinema.
I think if there were more people in the cinema, it would have been much more enjoyable.
Yes,
Because
that's one thing I think
definitely,
as well. If I'd seen
definitely.
it like with a group of friends or something, we probably would have had a lot more fun.
True.
To be fair, it's doing very good at the
Yeah,
box
it's crushing
office. It's made crushing
It's
it.
smart because it's come out at the
So
right time.
for-
There's like nothing else out at the moment. So.
And it's a January movie, which didn't suck, which is saying something.
Yep, I have to say, like I remember us saying a couple of podcasts ago when we saw the trailers for this, we're like, this movie's gonna suck. So like we're not gonna
Yeah.
watch this. Fuck this movie, it sucks. Look at us now. Franco and I just did the dance.
What's
And we didn't
what's
hate it.
the niece's name?
Oh, the little girl, Katie in the film. I forget her name. I think Violet something.
Violet McGraw.
Violet
Violet McGraw.
She was first time I saw her was Haunting of Hill House. She's very good.
That's where she's from.
You
Yeah, she's very good.
You
for a
know who
child
I
actress.
disliked? And I told Franco, Ronnie Chang.
Ronnie
Oh.
Chang.
Ronnie Chang, like, this is going to sound really weird, but I felt like his performance, even though he's obviously Asian, was a little bit racist. I don't know why. It was like very racial stereotype. It's his performance.
Asian Elon Musk, basically.
Yes, and I felt like at points I was just like, "Am I racist for laughing at this?"
Oh no, but Ronnie Chang, even his character on daily shows like that, he's very like.
Yeah, that's.
I think it's very self-aware.
Yes,
I think
that's why.
his performance
That's
is very,
why then
very
I
self-aware.
made the connection. Like,
Yeah.
okay, yes, this is the bit that he does.
Very self-aware. So maybe I was missing out on that.
you
that
you
element
don't
to it.
you never follow Daily Show.
No,
but
I
that's why. So I know where he was going at. That's just
But definitely very one note, huh? Very
Yes.
one note. True. So that's MG. I think we all were
Yeah, it
okay
was
with
fine.
it. It was fine.
It's a good
Wait.
sleepover movie. If you're 12 years old and having a sleepover with your friends, good
True.
sleepover movie.
yeah. We'll
True,
see. We'll
true,
see
true.
the sequel where it's going.
Yes, I'm looking forward to the sequel. I think they.
how M3 gets resurrected.
Now it would be Meg 4N.
Yes, yes, it has to be. Or, I guess there's a sequel, M2 goes back.
Lol.
Joe, lucky you, because I didn't have time, because it is a 3-hour and 9-minute
Finally.
movie. Got to watch. The very controversial Babylon. Some people love it, some people hate it.
Shouldn't be controversial.
Joe, your thoughts?
So, as we can see, Babylon is a tale of outsized ambition and outrageous excess. It traces the rise and fall of multiple characters during an era of unbridled decadence and depravity in early Hollywood. This is written and directed by, in my opinion, the great Damien Chazelle, and stars Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, and Diego Calva. I'm going to start off by saying I fucking loved this film. It did not feel like 3 hours and 9 minutes. As I told you guys off earlier, there was only a small 10-minute segment where the film slows down, because literally this film starts. It's basically like, imagine you sat in a race car and you're the professional driver, and he's like, okay, he's like, you've never done this before. He's like, I'm going to slowly build up to 60, but then I'm going to fucking go for it. Then we're going to hit 150 straight after that. And it does that because of the opening is kind of just like a little build up for 5 minutes, and then it's just the whole 3 hours, and it's just energy, it's soundtrack, it's Margot Robbie, and my God, there's a lot of Margot Robbie in this film, and I'm here for it. I'm here for every second of Margot Robbie. I'm here for every second of this film. To be completely honest, like, I was actually quite worried because it being quite long, and in the UK we don't have intermissions, which for me is a good thing. But I took my girlfriend to see this film because she saw the trailers, like, that looks cool, looks fun. I really liked La La Land. We should go watch that. I'm like, okay, but I've heard it's kind of like nuts. We'll go see it.
Quickly, hot take by the girlfriend. Ask her what did she think about it.
No, like that's the surprising thing, because like I was like worried, like it's really long. Like, will she like it? And like it finished, she was like, that was fucking sick. I was like, okay, wow. Like,
So I'm worried as well about that, because I'm going to watch it with
No,
my
no,
girlfriend
like,
next weekend.
my girlfriend liked this more than she liked La La Land, specifically because La La Land gets so long towards the end. You're kind of just like, well, okay, dude, get to the point. No, like I don't want to give away anything about this film, because actually, if you've seen trailers, you'll watch the trailers, you'll go, okay, I've seen a lot about this film. There's not going to be much to surprise me. Actually, a lot of the stuff in the trailers, like, they're kind of, I wouldn't say fake scenes, but they're cut so well that it's very misleading the way things are done in the trailers.
Yeah, I noticed some scenes which I was like, okay, this is definitely a fake scene. I noticed it in the trailer.
But like, it's the good thing about it is it's on that level of, and I hate to bring him up in this because he's sweeping declaration. Damien Chazelle is a much better and more stylish director than Baz Luhrmann has ever been. Just to put that out there. Just to put it out there.
Baz Luhrmann gets into the Babylon review as well.
Listen, because I'm not sure. Do you hate Baz Luhrmann? I'm not sure.
Yes, I do. But yes, because it is on that same wavelength as Elvis, where it's extremely glitzy, it's extremely fast moving, it's cut for everything. But there's a lot of themes which are very well explored, and there's nuance to the performances, and there's emotion, and all around it is style meets substance, and they come together and they make a nice little kiss, which is what style and substance should do at all times in films. For me, when I rated it on my letterbox, I gave it a 4 out of 5, because the only thing for me that was wrong with it was that 10-minute segment where it slowed down a bit. Otherwise, I love what it has to say about the industry now. It's crazy to think about that the film starts 100 years ago. It's crazy to think that this film is set 100 years ago, but it feels so modern.
True, 1923.
It's crazy to think that this film starts in 1926. I'm like, fuck, that's basically 100 years ago.
Is it in when at the start of the talkies, or how is it?
It does get to that. So it starts in the big heyday of silent films and how they were done, and it delves a lot into exploitation, but then it does bring in the talkies and how those drastically change things. But the best thing the film has going for it is, and I finally now, after a couple of days thinking about it, because the last 5 minutes of this film is just a bonkers, balls to the wall fucking montage, which is just a history of film essentially. And it'll be tough to see what a lot of people think of that, but I think I finally made sense of it. It's a lot, but it's got a lot to say about the industry at large, and especially of what it means to be part of this world, and what it means to be left behind by such a world, and what it means to be left behind by life. I think, honestly, this feels like the kind of film that someone would make as their last film. I hope it's not Chazelle's last film. I really hope it's not his last film. But it's a hell of a fucking mic drop. For me, it's criminal that this has been ignored. And I think it's been ignored because of the things it acknowledges about the industry, which are still quite true to this day, in terms of its exploitation and its debauchery and stuff like that. It's very good. Tobey Maguire plays a particular scumbag in it, which I did not see coming.
I'm so looking forward to that.
Guys, go see this one ASAP. See it on a big screen with the best sound system you can find, because I cannot understate the soundtrack. Literally, ever since there's a particular saxophone riff that goes through the soundtrack, and since I watched it at the weekend, every day of my life since has just been that saxophone riff. It's a it's because it's just a repeat of that with drums, and it's so repeatable and so catchy. It drives me insane, but I love it at the same time.
We'll hear a remix soon, don't worry. We'll hear a remix soon and being played
yes, absolutely.
Oh god,
you don't need one because for me this would be the best, apart from the Batman, the best soundtrack of 2022.
Is it original? Is it original score?
Yes,
just a second.
Yes, all Justin Hurwitz.
Okay.
But yeah, guys, go see this one. I have a feeling at least one of you is going to strongly disagree with me, and I don't know which one of you it's going to be. But just because of how this film seems to divide people, so far, I mentioned Bruce earlier in our disagreement on Elvis. Bruce loved Babylon.
Huh. Okay.
Nice. Interesting.
Guys, sorry, I'm
looking forward to watching it.
I
this
was
weekend.
watching something on Rotten Tomatoes. Just slightly bit to get back to the game thing. There was Mortal Kombat as well.
Yeah, the Mortal Kombat, that was really awful. Awful.
I would suggest that you watch The Rise of the Scorpion, the animated series. The animated series seems to be doing a good job. Okay, back to the...
Okay. CGI, by the way, CGI in that was... that was bad CGI.
Which one are you saying?
In Mortal Kombat. That CGI, Jesus, was awful.
No, but
awful.
Which one?
The latest one, the one which came out a couple of years ago, I think.
Go on.
Jesus.
Go on, look at the stupid.
That looked bad. Anyways, so that's Babylon. I'm really looking forward to watching it. Franco, you're interested in going to watch it this weekend?
There's going to be, what's his name? The Pricklippers are going to do an outing, right?
Pricklippers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would definitely go to that one. That'll be good to discuss over drinks as well after.
Yeah,
sure.
True. But it's 3 hours, man. I'm not going to go
No,
for drinks after a 3-hour movie.
it will feel like
sleep.
All right.
No, it's not the issue isn't.
Tal, do you want
if
to
it's
join
fun
to
or
give your
not.
thoughts on Babylon? Because they don't believe me when I said that you liked it.
That one was great. I'm a very serious still connoisseur. I say that it was great. I fell asleep for maybe 7 minutes.
Yeah, the 7 minutes where it slowed down.
Because otherwise 10 out of 10.
There you go.
Okay.
Totally good.
And that's our special guest for this podcast.
Big focus on pets, bit and survey.
What was that, Joe? I didn't understand the last part.
Okay.
He's not good. He's not good with
okay.
spoilers, this one. No, her whole thing is reading plot summaries and watching as many trailers as possible.
Speaking of which, someone read the plot summary of Tar.
Yes, someone read the plot summary of Tar, yes.
Segue.
I reviewed the plot summary, but
Very good segue into the last movie we'll be discussing today, and that is Tar, which apparently is not a story about an actual conductor. Lydia Tar is an invented character written specifically for Cate Blanchett. For anyone who hasn't watched the previous episodes, I mistakenly thought that Lydia Tar was an actual conductor, and I would say accidentally, I went in to read Lydia Tar's biography as an information about what happened to her. Turns out that I was just reading the plot of the movie. So yeah, but to be fair, it's a good sign because it shows how well written the character of Tar was. And I think Todd Field did an amazing job with it. Just so you know, guys, warning, there will be some heavy spoilers for Tar. So if you still have not watched Tar, make sure to skip, let's say, 10 minutes, around 10 minutes into this video, which will basically be the conclusion. Joe, you got to watch Tar because Frank already gave his thoughts. He'll give his thoughts after yours. But you're the only one who hasn't commented about Tar so far.
Yes. Tar is a really tough one. Because, like, the film snob part of my brain was more than stimulated throughout its near 3-hour runtime. In fact, more than stimulated, it was like, oh, this is really good. But the whole time. But it is one, and it's something I really admire about the film. I watched it about 2 weeks ago now, and, like, legitimately, I think about it every day. Like at points in my day, I go like, like I think about a certain scene. I go, what was that? Maybe it was this. Because it's a really interesting thing, and I to link it to like what happened to you, Andrea, where like you looked up to see whether Lydia Tar was a real person. I feel like that's the effect that the film has had on me in a certain sense of, if I'd heard the story about a real person, I would probably be thinking these similar thoughts about the story surrounding them, where it would be in my head at least once a day, and I'd like kind of be like, maybe that happened, or maybe it means this, maybe she's totally right, maybe he's totally right, maybe they're both wrong. And that's the part I do love the most about Tar. I can't wait to watch it again. Like, it has to be watched again because there's so many layers to it, and I know that there's things I'm missing. There's things I'm not understanding. Even, like, the part that gets me the most when I think about it is I'm just trying to really figure out what that ending means. I'm trying, like, that last 3 minutes. I'm just trying to be like, what are you trying to say that, like, pop culture and like gaming is really lame and that's like a last resort? Is high art now pop culture art? Like, what are you trying to say with that? And the beauty about it is it could be any of those things. It could be something as simple as, because it's Monster Hunter, she's a monster and she was hunted.
It's all a joke, yeah. Just a punchline
or just
Yeah. It's fascinating. And Kate Blanchett is unbelievable.
unbelievable.
One take about the ending. They said it was that because if I really want to make this clear, crystal clear. This movie is not about cancel culture. It does touch about some themes about it, but for heaven's sake, spoiler alert, she gets her comeuppance.
Yes.
She's the character makes her so full of herself that she's reduced, so to speak,
Yeah.
to playing like second fiddle almost to a reenactment of a Monster Hunter soundtrack.
Yeah.
She gets her comeuppance.
But then that's the thing. Is it a movie about the fact that the witch hunters are the ones killing Art?
That was I was getting at. That was the article. What they said, that the witch hunters, the cancel culture people, are canceling a legacy.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because now it's going to
True.
be interesting because Leonard Bernstein gets a lot of mentions throughout this film as her mentor. He's also someone allegedly not with a pretty past, eh?
And
Yes.
And
actually,
apparently it's going to be explored in Maestro, the Bradley Cooper film. That's
yeah,
coming
with
out.
Bradley Cooper. Yeah,
So
the
it's interesting.
Then we've got the whole discussion with the students.
Yes.
that was such a
About-
great scene, man.
Incredible scene.
Brilliantly directed scene. as well.
One take.
The direction
one
in that
take.
scene.
Yeah.
Veteran, one take. That
You know what I like the most about that scene? Because when she starts explaining that, like, the fact that Bach's habits with women had nothing to do with the music he was writing, a part of my brain is going like, she's totally right. I get where she's coming from with this.
But really,
but then,
True.
but then
Yeah.
when the guy turns around and goes like, "You're a fucking bitch," I go, he's also right.
she's also right.
is also right. 100%. Joe, 100%. My thoughts
Yeah.
during that scene, I was like, wait,
Because
she's right. No, wait, he's right. No, wait, she's right.
I can see the point that she's trying to make, that people who lived hundreds of years ago, you can't hold them up to today's standards, and things they did in their private life had nothing to do with their art. But I also get that you can come across as a massive fucking bitch when you say that, which is what she did.
Oh, there's the article I make references by Sam Brooks. That is called on Guardian. It's called Monstrous Maestro. Why is Kate Blanchett's cancel culture film? I hate that moniker. Are angering so many people. He bashes at that point like they're both right and they're both wrong.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's really tough because I feel like the film takes on today's kind of societal politics really well.
Yes,
Really well. 'Cause
100%.
It doesn't take a side, and it kind of just like displays it as it is. Because there is a version of this film, although, as Franco said, like, she gets her comeuppance and it seems all that way. There's a version of this film where this person is just a bit arrogant, but they're completely innocent.
are they?
There is.
though?
There is. I think it leans more to it definitely leans more to her being a guilty party. But there is a version of this film where she has been witch hunted. Yes.
No, wait. The botched editing scene was really where they
Yes.
watched the
But
editing.
I think even the stuff with Krista.
Her ex-student.
I think it's smart that Todd Field doesn't give us everything with that, because you get to make your own interpretation.
And we never know. We never know if the Chris accusations were real or not.
Yeah,
Like, the way I kind of thought about it was, you could either take it as everything that Krista has claimed was true, and that's why then she's fucked, and like she like has a breakdown because she realizes that she's fucked because she did those things. Or like another interpretation I saw as well is that with the whole Krista thing, maybe Lydia also developed strong feelings for this person, but then realized it was inappropriate and called it off, and in a moment of bad judgment decided to then email all those other people to ruin Krista's name. Almost in an inadvertent way, almost a crime of passion in that way.
Guys, did she delete the emails? Remember that scene between her and her assistant? She asked her assistant to go fetch something. She checked her laptop.
Not from her assistant's emails, no.
No, her assistant didn't delete them
But
exactly.
did Tar delete them?
Yeah, Tar deleted
Yes.
from her own
Yes.
laptop, yes.
But not the assistant.
Not the assistants, no.
But then she gets onto her assistant's laptop, right?
She
And
does- she
sees,
doesn't-
Inez
She doesn't
written
delete
there.
from the assistant's laptop now.
Which is another interesting point about that.
Anything else you want to add about Tar, guys?
Oh, no, I'm looking forward to watch it with my father actually. But then
So
again,
You pointed out, Franco, as well, for how many interpretations there are of this film. It works very well as a ghost story as well.
you see, you were
Yes,
noticing?
yes. Yes, absolutely.
Did you see the ghost show?
I saw
Did not see, and I
I
watched it
saw
in 4K.
glimpses. Like at first I thought I was going insane, but then Franco mentioning it, I'm like, okay, I definitely wasn't going insane.
There
then.
was there was one standing behind the piano one time.
Yeah.
And it's very out of focus, very well made. So if even there was, in fact, I told you guys, there's something not right. Did there? I think he also used some frequency, which, funny enough, Gaspar Noé uses in his movies, which makes you feel on edge.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if they did that. And the part when when her daughter suddenly wakes up, shouts, and
Yes.
when she wakes up, you see the camera of like at first I thought it was her wife, but it wasn't.
No, it's the and as well, like now, like talking about it right now, I'm like, fuck, I really love it, but it's one where like
It grows on you.
like it grows on me like every day.
Yeah,
but I'm also just
100%.
like, I feel like a detective, and I need to get to the bottom of it, and that's a great feeling with a film like that.
Do you agree with Martin Scorsese's take on it? That
Yes.
let's say he went a bit on a hyperbole when he went like, these guys have opened.
I don't think so, because
it's a bit of an exaggeration.
Think of a film like this that was made in the last 10 years.
True.
I
And
can't.
he said, so the one thing that I agreed is that Tar doesn't take you by the hand.
No, because this is the kind of thing, like it's a very, very adult drama with deep psychological themes, made incredibly well. Like,
True.
and it's layered as all fuck as well, because you can watch it 5 times and find new things every single time. Films, unfortunately, don't get made like this anymore. Like, I just went on a rant about Babylon. Babylon's a fantastic film, but it's nothing like this.
So a movie I think that is similar to Tar, which like goes into like very nuanced, deep themes and focuses a lot on the psyche of the character. Joe, I think you will agree with me, is Elvis, for example, which
We were having such a good talk. We were having such a good discussion. And you do that?
You know what goes well? It's also an ambiguous, has very good ambiguity, and you say it, Joe. You say it, Joe.
My mind is just empty right now.
Go for it. Gave you the weaponizing empty one.
I want to say, as I pick up my microphone for dramatic effect, for the record, Elvis has the emotional depth of a contact lens case. Thank you. Welcome to my TED Talk.
No. Jokes aside, because I have. So when I gave my top 10, I think I had just watched Tar. I don't think I had fully grasped how good this movie was, in the sense that I left it feeling a little cold. If you remember when Franco gave his top 10 and I gave my reason why I didn't put Tar in my top 10, I left it feeling very cold because of all the vagueness about it, Todd Field not taking like a stance, and I like directors and writers taking a stance in their movies. Thinking about it a bit more, and this is one of, I think, the few movies that I've watched recently that I still think about. For example, I don't think about The Fabelmans, for example, even though I love The Fabelmans. It's not a movie I think about like randomly, but Tar is a movie I think about. And it's the kind of movie I mentioned to my friends as well, for example. That and After Sun. Anyway, so with regard to Tar, thinking more about it, I think the vagueness and the fact that Todd Field didn't take a stance with regard to the whole cancel culture and is, I think, the perfect decision for a movie like this. It fits the movie perfectly. the cinematography matches the themes and this idea of neutrality and perfectly. So cinematography is spot on.
Yep.
Brilliantly directed movie, like you said, Franco. Some of the shots were absolutely brilliant. You know what I was surprised with? How little music there was in the whole movie.
True.
Which for a movie about a conductor was a surprise. I expected it to have a beautiful soundtrack.
But I mean,
into it. Like it seemed like the kind of movie to have the great
still,
soundtrack.
Mahler's Fifth and Elgar's.
Yes, definitely. But there's very little of it. Most of the movie is quite quiet.
It is a quiet movie at the end of the day.
It would have made my top 10 for sure had I seen it in 2022. It would have been close to the top 5 for sure. Probably in the top 5.
Okay.
As would have been Babylon.
Maybe. No, I think about it might have fit in. I don't think it would be in my top 5. Maybe somewhere around 7, 8, 9. One of those positions. Guys, I think we'll end it here because I think I'm having some internet connection problems.
That's absolutely fine.
I don't know if
I think we've said enough.
there's anything else you want to add about Tar.
Nothing. Just go watch it, guys.
Yep.
And
Do go watch
honestly, go like Joe said in his review on TikTok, and which also here's a good conclusion. Follow us on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Subscribe on YouTube, like our video so that we can make the algorithm go, oh, I like these 3 guys discussing movies.
And spread the word with your friends, please. Word of mouth is still very, very important, even though in today's social media world it's less important. But still, word of mouth is, in Malta especially, still a big thing. So please tell your friends about it if you like the show.
And
that's it, guys. This was a really good show. I really enjoyed this.
Like Joe said on his TikTok, go watch Tar Going In Blind. Don't read any articles. Don't listen to us as well. Just the target.
Yeah. Don't listen to the spoiler review.
Exactly.
Joe, hope you had a good time.
I had a great time. I had a really good time. Thank you.
Great time.
It was a great show. Franco?
Yep, great time. Very laughed a lot. This was one where we laughed a lot, guys.
Yeah.
Good jokes, especially from
at my expense.
And this is your empty man, basically. Joe.
Except I've seen Elvis. That's the only thing.
And empty man too.
I mean, to be fair, a good way to describe Elvis is empty.
Yes. Hollow.
Like very hollow. Very, very hollow. But hollow, but beautiful. I'll give it that. I'll like Elvis.
And Andrea, please watch Empty Man before we reach the 10th episode. Well done, guys, also for the 8th episode.
Actually, no, we'll say right now, 10th episode is going to be the Empty Man special. That's what we're doing.
Yes.
Wait, when will
that's you got 2 weeks, buddy.
Called
2
it.
weeks. Watch the
no
Empty
way.
Man.
That is going to be the
Called it.
Joe, that's going to be another good episode for you. That's going to be the Ant-Man episode.
Ant-Man episode? Why?
Yes, because Ant-Man is coming out early February, no?
By the way, have you heard, guys?
I think
some right-wingers are avoiding watching Ant-Man because they thought it's short for Antifa Man.
Fucking hell.
Classic.
No,
that won't be the Ant-Man episode. Actually, that's a good episode to watch.
It's not true, but you think it would cross their mind.
I would
right?
assume it's true.
Yes. Absolutely would.
On that note, guys, thank you so much for watching. Like Franco said, don't forget to like, subscribe, and do all that jazz. We need the support for us to keep on making these shows. I had a blast. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Ciao.
Ciao.